Oh, oh, give it to me. Oh, oh, give me that funk, that sweet, that nasty, that gushy stuff. Mama, give it to me. Give it to me. Give it to. Oh, wait. Oh, that's what that's for. Okay. Give it to me. Yo, yo. Yo, apple juice. Jesus Christ, it's warm. Tastes like baby urine. Don't ask me how I know it tastes like baby urine, but okay. Uh, oh man. So we got the whatchamacallit. See this right here? This is the beautiful thing about when you're starting out doing something, right? When you're starting out a podcast, a show, whatever. You take some time to get things together, right? Uh, and then what will happen is you'll look back some years later. I don't think this is the one, is it? Nope. You'll look back some years later and you'll realize, like, man, look how far I've come. You know, man, I remember in the beginning when I was starting the show and I wasn't even ready. And, I didn't have things together. And then you look up and it's been some time and, man, listen, I'm doing the show and I got this and I got that. And this ain't the right one. Oh, wow. Okay, so this is the right one either. And we got a specific type of charger that's going on. All right, so let me do this. Add to screen. Where's the left
Can
at?
you hear me?
Here's the left. I can hear you.
Can
Can
you
you
hear
hear
me?
me?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Oh, okay. I was trying to make sure my mic worked. We gotta have on
Yeah,
our
it's
camera.
working. No, you don't have to if you don't want to.
Okay.
I would prefer it, you know what I mean? But it could be some times where you don't have to. You guys, if you need to turn
Well,
it
you know
off
I
for
got three
something, you
kids over here.
can.
Yeah, you know I got three
You
kids
know
over
what?
here.
I ain't gonna, hey, you know what? I ain't gonna even lie. I was thinking about that. I was definitely thinking about that last night. Uh, when Javon was like, "Yeah, Candice said she down." I'm like, "Oh damn! Wait a minute. She got kids over there. I don't
Yeah,
know if
you know
they're
I
gonna
know how
be
to
in the
shoot them off
background,
though.
whatever."
Oh no, my
You say
kids
what?
older now. They older now. I can shoot them off. I just didn't know if it was
Yeah.
live streaming, if we needed to be on camera, if I needed to go do my hair real quick. I got on the bonnet.
Hey, you know what? I wasn't even paying attention to that. You definitely represent the Bonnet gang right now.
Yeah, I definitely
We'll
got the
just put
bonnet
that out
thing
there.
going. I got the bang out, but I definitely got a bonnet on.
Look, see, yeah. So listen, yep. Right now we are definitely live. Right now, I just took the broadcast live, and I was just saying how the good thing about when you just starting out is it's okay to go through these trials, right? You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? Well, I'm not even really ready, right? Because I'm broadcasting from this tablet that's about to die, right? So I gotta try to make sure I can get in here from my phone, make sure my phone is charged up before the whole broadcast just cut out on us because the tablet about to die. I can't plug it up. The battery is dropping like 1% every 30 seconds. So,
Oh yeah,
hey, look, it's
it
okay,
ain't
right?
charging.
And I was saying how, nah, you know what it is? It's my uncle's tablet, and he got a charger that's like 2 inches long. Like you gotta basically sit the tablet on the floor by the wall in order for it to charge.
Mm-mm.
So
Tell
I'm
Unc you
like,
need to
yeah,
get it
this
together.
ain't gonna work, right?
Right, ain't
Man,
gonna
listen,
work.
him and me, really, to be honest with you, I was gonna use my phone, but it's hard for me to control the app from my phone because the screen ain't big
Okay.
enough. I can't see everything at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, here go my cousin right here, my other cousin-in-law. Hold on, let me bring him up real quick.
What's up,
Worm.
sir?
All right. Hey, Worm, that's my sister-in-law, Candice. Candice, this is my cousin, Worm.
Hey,
Hey,
how you doing?
pretty good. Yourself?
I'm all right. I'm all right. Taking it easy.
Hey,
Mm-hmm.
so listen, I was just making fun of myself because the tablet that I'm broadcasting from, it's at 27% and dropping. Like, it ain't a good look right now, cuz, you know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna try to jump in from from my phone and make sure that the broadcast stay live. Uh,
Right.
but first of all, I want to say real quick, I added an extra topic for tonight, bro, because I gotta talk about this R. Kelly thing, man. Listen, I don't know a whole lot about the case, right? No, seriously though, because I don't know a whole lot about the case. I was just talking to one of my homies about this, and I'm like, from what I can tell on social media, it seemed like the entire black community has just turned their back on R. Kelly. Like it seemed
Mm.
like everybody just like act like this ain't the dude who made the soundtrack. You know what I'm saying, to the '90s and the early 2000s for us.
But they turned their
And then
back
my
on Bill
man was like,
Cosby.
"Yeah, bro.
But they turned
You
their
know what? They
back on
did
Bill
turn their
Cosby
back
too.
on Bill Cosby."
They gonna turn their back on anybody that make the news. So I mean, that's just what how the world that we live in. Like nobody is saying nothing about people baby daddies being 8 years, 10 years older than them now.
Mm-hmm.
They not R. Kelly's knowing that they was messing around with them and you was 16 pregnant in high school. Come on now, make it make sense. They just doing it because
Yeah, you got a
and he
point.
and he was and he was
Mm-hmm.
dumb. He spent his dollars paying off bitches to fuck them. Like it's sad. It's a sad situation though.
Yeah.
Cause
And
they
see,
allowed
that's
the
why I
tablet for
wanted
so
to
long.
talk about it is because I don't know. Uh, honestly, I don't even know what he charged with. I don't know anything about
Racketeering.
his case. All I know is that, yeah, all I know is that they did a show called Surviving R. Kelly that, of course, I never watched. And the next thing I know, he was on trial, and then it was all across my my timeline yesterday that he was convicted after a few hours of the jury deliberating. So I don't know what he did. I don't want to talk about it for. I mean, I ain't gonna say I don't know what he did. I do want to know what he was charged with.
One
I want to talk about it for too long, but I do want to know: should we be turning our back on R. Kelly? Both of y'all can take the time to answer that. Candice, you can go first.
While his charges was 1 count of racketeering and 7 counts of like transporting females across state lines in New
You
York.
said it was what?
1 count of racketeering, and then 7 counts of like bringing women across state lines. That's what his charges was. It was 7 counts, but it was 8 counts that he got convicted on.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah. And then he faced I think he faced the 22 charges in Illinois, and then he faced the charges in Minnesota.
Wait, so these is no women?
More women. Yeah, it's yeah. It was a lot of women that came forward regarding R. Kelly. But the question should really be is, should we be blaming the parents?
Wow.
That's the question. Because I'm sorry, a lot of these parents was in on it.
Yeah,
a lot of the parents allowed it to happen.
And a lot of them women was grown too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of them went by choice. It wasn't by force.
Yeah, all because his name was R. Kelly.
And then on top of all that, after they did
welcome to the show, Bang G. Welcome to the show, Bang G.
Oh, yes, sir. Yes, sir. After they did the little research, they found out that the man manager had all of his in his name.
Yeah, if you look up R. Kelly net worth right now, I think he negative $2 million. How are you negative a net worth? How is that possible?
Well, you got to say it the other way. How are you negative $2 million with all type of Oscars and
Grammys,
awards and Grammys and
but you also have to look
all
at
the work that man did.
But R. Kelly was slow. R. Kelly could not read. R. Kelly had a lot of his child, his own life. Like,
but R. Kelly was slow. R. Kelly could not read.
Hold on, y'all. Hold on for 1 second. Let me get this feedback out of here. Can y'all hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, let me get this feedback out of here real quick. Okay. First of all, let's back this train up, because you just said R. Kelly was slow and he couldn't read.
He couldn't. That was well known that R. Kelly was illiterate. I swear that was well known that R. Kelly was illiterate. You could Google that.
So you trying to tell me you want me to believe that the man that made half on the baby couldn't read?
I mean, you can sing all day. Don't mean that you could. You got to look at back in the day though. You got to look at definitely grew up though.
Wow.
His own sister molested him. You got to
look. The only issue that I have with that is key information to show that anybody can do it to you.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
Because if somebody love you and they know what your weakness is, they supposed to protect that weakness and not exploit it.
Exactly.
Right. And somebody around you that you love will say, the nigga can't read, so let's just go ahead, let's write it out.
Right. That ain't cool, man. I didn't know that R. Kelly had them type of issues. But the one thing I will say is this, like I said, going down my timeline, it seemed like I ain't really seen, let me think. Let me be honest. I don't want to lie. Okay, my little niece Tierra put up a post that said, "Free my nigga Kels." Outside of her, every other post I read was a joke. You know what I'm saying? People clowning Kels. You know what I'm saying? Like, ain't nobody showing like no actual concern or no
But look,
disgust.
they turned his porno. They turned his sex tape into a porno. He was fucking a little ass girl. Everybody knew this back in the early 2000s when that shit came out. That was a little ass girl. Motherfuckers didn't turn his ass in for that shit. Motherfuckers was selling that shit all up and down Madison. No, like hell, why would somebody take him serious now? Everybody knew he was a pedophile. They just let his ass escape on it for so long because he was who he was. Everybody knew he was hanging out at Kenwood. All this shit was known. And nobody did shit about it.
Oh my
Elvis
God.
Presley was a pedophile.
Who?
Elvis Presley.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Look, his wife was 14.
Girls.
His wife was like 14, 13 when they was married and shit.
Yeah.
Ain't
nobody do nothing to him.
Is pedophiles, like history in itself. Like Epstein, y'all have to really watch the Epstein show on Netflix. They blast so many other politicians, so many famous people are being pedophiles, bro. Like they was messing with that man, and that's why they killed that. That's why they had that man killed. I don't care what nobody say. Epstein was killed to keep them pedophiles under wrap.
Yeah.
Well, I heard somebody say something about in a bunch of states across America, it's okay to marry as young as 12, 13, 14 years old.
I don't know about
down south America. If you get like consent with your parent down south type shit. But I mean, back in the day, our parents, I mean, my great grandma was, with an older man. Like, I mean, that was common back in the day and stuff like that. You feel me? But and somewhere in somebody common man though, as years went on, somebody should have realized that shit wasn't okay. Like,
I'm gonna just be honest. I just had a conversation with my daughter. She is 25, and now she got 2 kids. And I told her, at this stage of the game, I understand why arranged marriages happen.
Right.
I understand it. I get it. And I told her, you can't date by yourself no more.
Right.
Next time you feel like you want to date somebody, we're going to date them together.
Right.
And then I'm going to tell you if they're a good choice for the family. And then you.
Not just you, yep.
Because if you got to pick them yourself, then how you know how to look forward to what it is that you need?
You know what? I think this is first of all, I never did no intro. So for anybody that's gonna be watching this at this time, I want to say welcome to the Seen Yo Lil Podcast show. Okay. This is episode number 2. I got my girl Candice on the show, my boy Bang G on the show, my cousin Worm on the show. And it was so crazy, Byron, that you said that, because that's a great segue into my very first question.
Yep,
for tonight.
This last week.
Okay.
Yeah, my very first question for tonight is, what are Black fathers telling their daughters about relationships and finding husbands? That's my very first question for tonight, bro. What are Black fathers telling their daughters about relationships and finding husbands?
Listen, bro, listen. My daughter study talking to my wife about relationships. I'm study telling her. I say, look, them little boys you dating, I used to be them.
Yeah, right.
And all the tricks, all of the trades, I know them all.
Right.
You talking to the wrong person. Because I got your mama.
Right.
Now, what you talking to her?
Exactly.
I'm gonna expose what's really going on. You understand what I'm saying? So, but it took a while for me to say that over and over again until she started just being like, hey, Dad, what's up with this dude? He talking this, he talking that, blah, blah. What you think this about? But before, it was like, I'm not going to talk to him about that, or I'm not going to share that information with my dad. But you 25, I know you screwing. You got 2 babies.
Right.
Right.
I know you didn't have that through osmosis.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? And I think one of the biggest issues that we have as Black people, and I don't want to get all pro-Black, but we don't talk to our kids about what's real.
Mm.
That's the problem that I'm having with my kids right now. I kept them in the fantasy world too long. And then when they finally started talking about what was real, they thought they was woke or something, or they was really down. But low key, I should have exposed them to more BS. I should have let them see what both sides of the tracks was like. I stuck them out in the suburbs and didn't let them see much of nothing else.
Like you are, like this is not real living that we're living right now. I don't care what nobody says.
Come on now.
ETA. I don't care what this is real life Grand Theft Auto. Like the way that Chicago is living right now, bro. This is not living. You want to get your kids out of the suburb. It's not sheltering them. It's certain shit that as a child they're not supposed to be exposed to. You're not supposed to expose your kids to certain shit because as we know as kids, when we were exposed to that, how it affected us. So if it affected us like that, why wouldn't it affect your child like that?
Let me hit you with something real quick because I agree with some of what you're saying. I disagree with some of what you're saying. So let me hit you with something real quick. My kids was sent to the suburbs to not be exposed to the BS. What I found out was moving them away from being with the bad crowds, I moved them to a way where they was the leaders of the bad crowds.
That's definitely true.
So look, check it out.
But suburbs have their own problems as well. Yeah.
But check it out. Hold on. Let me hit you with one more. When I grew up, I sold drugs. I tried to do everything to make money. If somebody told me they was making money doing it, I tried.
Right.
You say you're making money doing bottle caps. Let me get a couple of them. I need to see what's going on. Whatever it was, if it was about making money, I tried it.
Right.
My kids thought I was a lame. The number one thing my son said to me that ranks to me number one funny joke thing I ever heard him say. He said, "Dad, you don't know nothing about girls. You've been with one woman all your life." Now,
right, but that's because you explained your history.
Exactly, and that's what I said. We got to start being real with our kids. Like for instance, if you know you a horny buzzard, you know your kid is gonna be a horny buzzard. So you need to start talking to them early. Hey, you know what? When you get these feelings, you know this is what you need to do with that energy because. You know, you may wind yourself up in this position, that position. You may want to do this, you may want to do that. But let me tell you what the smart thing to do. Because what I came to in this day and age is everything that feel good, usually in the end, ain't good for you.
Yeah.
And everything that feel bad, usually in the end, is very good for you.
Right.
But now you have to talk to your kids young because they're exposed to so much other stuff outside of you. Yes. YouTube has opened up another world of a whole nother world. YouTube is raising half of these kids.
And the dark web.
So so like you have to speak to your child younger. Like my kids, like I have younger kids, and I'm speaking to my 9-year-old about boys and girls and things of that nature. But I tell my kids all the time, right now your focus is school. That's your job, that's your priority, that's your main focus right now. Because what these kids are talking about in school, you'll never like the conversation kids are having at school now. You should be like, why the hell is you even having these conversations? Like, why are your mind even at that point and stage? Like,
and you know what I was just finna say? When you just said you talking to your 9-year-old about boys and girls, see, that's good. But we need to be doing a little bit more. It's like you need to be talking to your 9-year-old about boys on boys, girls on girls.
I'm there already. Oh, sweetie, I got a 12-year-old that I'm talking to.
Sexual preference should be.
I promise you, and it's there, sweetie. I was talking to my daughter at the age of 5 about that because she was seeing cartoons on TV. Doing that type of thing. So I was having those type of conversations at them early age because of the things that they were exposed to on the television. On the things like that. And that's why I said, like, you really have to watch what your kids is watching. But me, how I feel is me telling my kids about drugs and all of that. Like that's not a cycle. That shouldn't be in our cycle of Black people. It's in our cycle because of our history and what we have been, but it shouldn't be part of our history because that's not normal living. That's not regular living. My child should not know about drug dealing. My child should not know about crack and weed.
That's not true. That's not
Hold
true.
on 1 second. Hold on 1 second before you respond, Bang. Worm, you got a daughter. Your daughter is at the age now where, you know what I'm saying, she probably liking boys liking her. Mm-hmm. What are you telling her, if anything, about relationships and maybe even as an adult dealing with relationships in the future? Are you talking to her about that at all? And if so, what are you talking to her about?
I talked to, excuse me, I'm gonna cut my head up, set off. Hold on.
Mm-hmm.
Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay, there you go. I talked to her about the same thing, bro. So he talked to his the same exact way. And like he said, his son said the same. My son said the same thing. You've been with one woman your whole life. How could you tell me anything? That's coming from that boy though. But that girl looking at me like this is the type of relationship I need and want. I don't want to be a bunch of guys. I don't want to grow up having different baby daddies. So, and I tell her that's right. Look at it. If you want a relationship like me and your mama, find you the right person though. You have to find that right person in order to grow in that relationship as a whole person, basically.
Yeah. See, now with me having a daughter, myself, my daughter just made 20, right?
Lord.
So I know, right? So I was thinking about it because I was in this Facebook group, and in this Facebook group, we were having a conversation about something, and this woman posted, she said, well, what are y'all talking to y'all daughters about when it comes to relationships and finding husbands and this and that? And I'm like, nothing. Dang, I felt real ashamed. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm saying to myself, I'm not having this conversation at all. Since my daughter was maybe about 14, I started talking to her about, you know, the whole boys ain't no good and all they want is sex and blah, 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 blah. And I told her, I'm not going to tell you not to have sex because, you know, that's just me setting you up to disobey me. So I'm not going to do that. I know you're going to do it. I ain't tripping on that.
What you do when you find out your daughter the one putting pressure on the boy to have sex, though?
That's a good question.
Honestly, man, well, let me finish what I was saying, and it'll take me into that. So my whole thing was don't bring me no babies before you graduate high school, and she didn't. Okay. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like I did my job. You know what I'm saying? Hey, I got my baby out of high school. She ain't had no kids, right? So she beat the odds. But I have not talked to her about what she should be looking for in a husband. I have not had that conversation with her. I feel some type of way about myself now that I think about it, and I know I had that conversation with her, and I'm probably gonna call her tomorrow and have this conversation with her. But we did have a conversation about life. Like you said, I've been honest with my kids forever. I never lied to them at all about nothing. I was always honest with them. I was more honest with my kids than I was with my mama. You know what I'm saying? Than I was with God. You know what I'm saying? God, if you take this hangover, I promise I'm going to church Sunday. I know I ain't going to church Sunday. You know what I'm saying? I'm lying to God, but I ain't gonna lie to my kids because I always wanted them to feel comfortable enough to be honest with me. To feel like they could tell me anything. So I always told them everything. But the truth of the matter is, I don't even know where to start with this conversation.
Let me tell you this, bro.
What you need to look at.
Let me put something on your bird. It took me a while, but I just came to this conclusion. When your kid dating somebody, they dating you too. Because there's a possibility that they may have a baby. There's a possibility They may get married. And then when that happens, now you mixing your family up with their family.
With theirs, yep.
Whatever BS they got going on in their family, gonna be mixed up with whatever BS you got going on in your family. You understand what I'm saying? So you have to look at them in a whole. Where you come from? What's your roots? What's your parents like? What's your daddy like? Where your daddy come from? Is he strong? Is he weak? Is he a cur? Is he a fighter? Do he beat his women? You understand what I'm saying? Like, you got to look at all of that because, bro, my kids is in their 20s, man. It's no way possible would I had a thought before I had them that I would still be dealing with their mamas on a regular basis. But yet and still, I do.
Right.
Yet and still, they still talk to my mama. They still talk to my wife. They still, you know what I'm saying? They still mixed up in my day-to-day life. No matter how afterwards I got through dealing with them sexually, I said, oh, I ain't gonna deal with her no more, blah, blah. But they still are powerfully influenced in my life.
Right.
If I had known that, I would have chose better.
True. That's true.
So come out of that slot.
So let me ask this question to Candice. Candice, you have a daughter. Do you have, if you had to talk to her about finding a husband, right? What would you say to her she needs to be looking for in a husband?
What would I say to my daughter for looking in a husband? First, I mean, I appreciate all married people, but first I would have to ask, is marriage something that she wants to do? Marriage is not for everyone. That's one thing everyone has to understand. And you can't push marriage on someone because that marriage is going to fail if you do. So marriage has to be a two-way street for the person that wants to be with you and you want to be with that person for the rest of your life. Like that's the key. Like it's supposed to be a one deal thing, a marriage. If you're going to keep marrying people, there's no point of doing it. That you might as well stay in relationships.
Right.
I mean, I tell my daughter, first you have to love yourself. Once you love yourself, so anyone else will love you. I mean, you look for a man that love himself. He got to love his mama and respect his mama, because by the way a man treat his mama is the way he gonna treat you. Like the way he treat women in his life is the way he gonna treat you. He has to. I mean, I tell my daughter, don't deal with no broke nigga. Real talk. Like broke niggas is headache.
I was wondering how long it was gonna take for that to come
like dealing with a broke nigga is a headache. Like
I believe being broke is an easy fix.
It is an easy
integrity and morals.
Like
you can't get out of it.
If you deal with a man that is motivated though, like it's a different. Like if y'all young coming into this, of course ain't none of y'all and y'all building each other up, but he's motivated. That's a whole different thing. That's a motivated man that he can be shaped and molded into something. But if that man ain't even motivated for himself to take care of himself, you need not deal with him. He's not even taking care of himself. Like, how do you expect him to take care of you?
Yeah.
Like, and honestly, respect is number one. Like, if a person will disrespect you, like that, it really ain't no coming back from that. Like a disrespect you, respect is like number one, because you should respect yourself and respect and somebody's gonna respect you. So, like that's just really what like I would tell my daughter. But the first thing I'm asking my daughter is, do you want to get married? Is marriage for you? Do you want to spend the rest of your life with somebody?
I got a question for the question though. With that being said, which was part of my issue, you know what I'm saying? But where do we find our examples as a people as to how to love and treat one another when most of the examples that we have are dysfunctional?
True.
So where do we get that from? Because if we get it out of textbook, 9 times out of 10, it's part of the white man's language that is meant to steer you astray.
But you have to talk to you have to look at the examples of the older people, like in the older households, like the grandmas, the great grandmas. Like I don't know, they were examples. Like back in the day, they was the community. The community was the examples. You know, you had the neighbors that could tell you anything next door. You had your friends on the block, mamas. Like everybody, the village was the example.
You know what? That's a good point because maybe it ain't the same now, but I know when I was growing up and we were living on Ferdinand, we lived on Ferdinand for a while, like almost a decade, and it was plenty of families on Ferdinand. It was a bunch of husband, wife, led households. You know what I'm saying, on Ferdinand. But I will say this, just being completely honest, to this day, nothing influences me more when it comes to family and relationship, husband and wife and all of that than the Cosby Show. Like literally the backdrop on my phone is the Cosby, is Bill Cosby and Felicia Rashad, bro. So that's the wallpaper on my phone. You know what I'm saying?
So you gonna idolize somebody that was drugging people?
Hey man, listen, man. Listen, man. What y'all not about to do is y'all not about to besmirch the good name of the doctor. Okay. From what I heard, that verdict was overturned. That man is innocent.
He's free now.
Nothing wrong to nobody. Man. Okay. I'm not talking about I'm not talking about Bill Cosby. I'm talking about Dr. Huxtable.
But back in the day, you had a lot of black shows on there. You had Marty, you had Fresh Prince. It was a lot of black shows on there. Now half of the black shows is drama.
Right. Yeah.
That's your wheel off. You got drama and shit. People cheating on each other. Like it's showing the bad examples of black people now. You don't have the families on TVs no more. Like that's not on there no more.
That is a great point that you just made because of the fact that, like I said, I'll be honest. I'll be completely transparent. Even though we can look at the Cosby Show and see the greatness that it exemplified, right? Mm-hmm. But also now I can look back at it, watching it, and see some of the BS crap that they was throwing in there on the feminism side and all of that. But political and political stuff too, yeah. But I will say this: is also the bad part about it is that it created a level of expectation in my mind. Right. So when my relationships weren't the Cosbys, I was unhappy. You know what I'm saying? I thought that this is how it was supposed to be. You know what I'm saying? If it's not me.
How when you ain't never dated no lawyer?
Just shut up. I ain't talking about that part. I'm saying that, well, hey, listen, I had a couple of lawyers in my lifetime. We did a lot of talking back and forth, but I don't think we was dating. But no, what I'm saying is like if you remember the Cosby Show, bro, I know y'all do. It was Cliff and Claire against the kids. You know what I'm saying? It was like the husband and wife versus the kids. I remember one of them episodes where he told her, man, look, let's just leave. Let's just run away. Let the kids have the house. It's obvious they just want the house. You know what I'm saying? So, like, that's how it's supposed to be to me. Me and you, we gonna raise these kids and we raising them to get out. Bye. See you later. You know what I'm saying? Nobody trying to have you in here at 20, 21, 23, 25. No. Look, my plan right now is to have my son out the house by 19. I'm getting really, I want him gone. I want him out of his mama crib by 19. Straight up. He got 18 to 19 to get his little stuff together with everything we got planned for him after he graduates. At 19, I want him in his own space so that he has that pressure to maintain it. Just recently, I started buying him more, Jordan type shoes and stuff like that because he don't care about that. He just like his dad was.
Jordan type shoes.
Yeah, because I ain't buy him no Jordans. I bought us some Air Force Ones.
Okay.
I didn't buy him the mics, even though the mics is only $30 more. But I ain't buy him the mics because he don't take care of nothing.
I feel
you know what I'm saying? He don't care about clothes and shoes really.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? You can go buy him some Under Armour gym shoes and some. You can get his clothes from Farmer Brown's, bro. He would not care.
He just a different breed. That's all.
Yeah, he's simple.
Just a different breed. And then you also got to understand, people do things for certain reasons. Like, for instance, in my age, I realized I wore a lot of jewelry and clothes, and had certain cars because I wanted to date certain type of women.
Right.
Yeah.
I really didn't like the stuff I was buying. I just knew they liked it.
And that's what a lot of these parents do by dressing their kids. Like, I like a kid that don't care about nothing. Like, if I would decide to dress you up, then that's cool type of thing. But a lot of these kids is into Gucci and don't even know Gucci start with a G. Like kids going like every week they got on different Jordans, but they can't even tie their shoes. Like it doesn't make sense. Like, y'all trying to keep up with the fab, trying to keep up with the person, and like your kid ain't even intelligent enough to wear this shit.
I ain't gonna never forget that time when I was taking my son school shopping and the man leaned in on me and told me, "Hey man, from this point on, I don't wear nothing but polo."
Mm-hmm. Which one? You got polo or the Ralph Lauren polo?
I was just about to say that.
Ralph Lauren.
Who is purchasing this? I don't understand. What you saying?
Hey, a polo t-shirt is like $50.
Ralph Lauren, you know what I'm saying? I need the drawers, I need the socks, I need all that. I was like, yeah, it sounds like you finna get one outfit. You gonna figure the rest out.
Okay,
hey, you
hold
wanna
on.
know something funny?
Wait, hold on, man, real quick.
Polo to this day.
Hold on, man, real quick. Check this out. You know me, so you know I never really cared about the Jordans and the. Listen, I never really had none of that stuff. You know that. I always been a Adidas, Reebok, Asics wearing type cat.
Mm-hmm.
Literally since May, I have bought 16 pairs of shoes. 17 because I just ordered another pair waiting on it to show up now. Since May, bro. I look back, I try to calculate all the shoes, bro. I really just spent over $2,000 on shoes, bro. And it's really ridiculous because I got the look. Never owned a pair of Jordans in my life, ever.
You wanna have the bang argument?
Hold on, listen. I never owned a pair of Jordans in my life, ever. I just bought 5.
Okay.
I never owned a pair of Air Force Ones, ever.
Okay.
I just bought black ones.
Okay.
I never owned a pair of Air Max 90s, ever. I just bought a pair of black ones. You know what I'm saying? Listen, I bought everything. Creative Rex.
So listen, bro. Listen. This is my argument. This is my argument with our people, right? So you say you bought how many Jordans?
I just bought 5 pair.
You bought 5 pair of Jordans.
5
How much
pair.
it cost a piece?
The highest one was $220. The lowest one was $120.
Okay, so you range between 120 and 200.
220. So 4 120s and 1 220.
So you got Nikes.
5 720.
You got Adidas. Did you say you bought some Adidas?
No, I didn't buy no Adidas, bro.
So you got all Nikes.
No, I bought a pair. I bought 2 pairs of Filas. I bought a pair of Asics. I bought a pair of Creative Rex.
Okay.
I bought 2. I always wanted with the alligator on there. What's the name of them shoes?
The Lacoste.
Karachi.
Oh man, I bought two
lacrosse.
pair of those. Oh my God, nigga.
So my question is
hold
this.
on, man.
Yeah.
You can't tell me nothing when I got them Lacoste on, boy. Do you hear me? When I step outside in them Lacoste, you cannot even ask me what the time is, bro. I promise you. The time is you look at these shoes. That's what time it is.
So my question is
I got the Lacoste on, boy.
Check it out. So you bought Nikes, you bought so and so, whatever.
Yeah.
How many stock do you own in them companies?
Man, same amount of stock I own in Chinese food. None.
So check it out. One whole stock in Nike costs less than one pair of shoes.
Wow.
And
wow, it's crazy.
For one pair of shoes that you bought, you could become part owner of Nike, and then you're gonna have to feel so guilty when you buy it. Because you're giving some of your money back to yourself.
Yeah. Okay, then I like that. I like the sound of that. See what I'm talking about, man.
So instead of 5 pairs of Jordans, you buy 2, invest in the money that you would spend for the other 3 in the Nike. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And it kind of balances out.
Exactly. See, this is why can't nobody tell me nothing about black men. We are the greatest. Let me go online and see how much this stock costs me. Hey, listen, they need to give me one for free. All the shoes I just bought for them. I had the shoes stacked up, right? One whole side is Nikes. You see what I'm saying? And then I had the other side, everything else that I bought. You know what I'm saying? But the one whole side is Nike, bro. Like it's really ridiculous.
I ain't gonna lie, I really would. I would get on here and start flexing some of the shoes that I bought, but I don't want to do that.
Nah, man, listen, we know that I would say black men, but it's the same for the women now, bro. When I be up at the lake, man, it's them girls be having on some Jordans I never seen in my life.
Yeah. Yes.
In they really make the best colors for the women anyway.
For the women, yeah.
If you want to be honest about it.
Yeah. Purple and black ones. Purple
and
white.
Low key, why you talking crazy? Some of the men be buying them girl shoes and be walking around in them.
Listen, if you can fit them, because they make the best colors for the girls anyway.
Yeah, they do.
If I can fit them, I definitely would.
Man.
Now watch this. This was so crazy, man. This is the second time doing this show. We're going into our next segment, so I want to say to anybody that's watching at this point, thank you for joining the Seen Yo Lil Podcast show. Okay, got my boy Benji, my girl Candice, my boy Worm. Worm, that was so crazy that you just started talking about the stocks, right? Because the very next question on my list is, how much money does it take to break general curses? Now, here's the thing about this question, Candice and Worm. Guess where I got that question from?
Well,
that guy right there. he posted it on Facebook, and when he posted it, I saw him. I said, man, I'm still in this. So this is the universe paying it forward, man. Not only did I take his post, but he's here, you know what I'm saying, to discuss it. Bro, I thought this was so prolific when you asked this question, man. This is probably one of the greatest questions I ever seen in my life, honestly, on social media. How much money does it take to break general curses, right? And I was having a conversation actually with my cousin Worm and a couple of other cats.
Quan, nephew.
Yeah, we was talking about this. And the thing that I realized during that conversation is that a lot of people didn't even understand the question, right? Because not everybody even understands what the generational curse means. You see what I'm saying? So some people may have been looking at it like the negative things that happen in our communities, you know, a lot of babies out of wedlock, stuff like that,
not being raised right,
and stuff like that. But then I myself personally was looking at it from a financial standpoint. So when you said how much money does it take to break general curses, I immediately thought okay, how much money do I need so that my kids don't have to work for nobody? You know what I'm saying?
Way further than that, though.
Okay, so this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go around the panel. We're gonna start with you, Bang, since you the one who presented the question. Then I'm gonna go to Candice. Then I'm gonna go to Worm.
Okay. So what am I answering? How much money do it take?
Well, you posed the question, so tell us what was on your mind when you
What was on
asked
your
it.
mind? Yeah.
Then you know what I'm saying.
So
The answer to it.
The actuality, the reason why I asked that question is because I've been on this financial healing, financial wellness, education / heal my people type of thing.
Right.
And basically, I just come to the conclusion that Black people have a very bad relationship with money. I've always had a bad relationship with money. I mean, you witnessed about 25 years of it. I mean,
I did.
And basically what winds up happening is we pour money down a black hole. One of the things that really upset me is I've been reading a lot of statistics and numbers, and these particular statistics, my wife corrected me in the background, statistics piss me off. So here we go. I'm gonna ask y'all this question. I was reading about the wealth in America and who adds up to the rich people in America. And let's start here. So we got economic spending that happens once a year. The number is like $80 billion or something like that that's spent in a year's time.
In the Black community, right?
In the community, period. Just in the world, it's a rotation of like $80 billion. Black people are responsible for 80% of that.
Wow.
You follow me?
Yeah.
So I said, damn. I said, Black people spend a lot of money. Then I said, well, let me look up the rich people. And they broke down the rich families in ethnicities, in percentages. And what percentage of the rich people do you think Black people made up of?
10.
Of the world?
No.
Or U.S.?
The whole world?
Just say the U.S.
The U.S.?
I give it 8%.
I'm going to go with,
Not that much.
8%.
Yeah.
And it's equivalent to the same percentage of Spanish people. I want to see if that hits you. All right.
Well,
I can't believe that though.
It's 15 million more of them than it is us.
What?
So,
but I'm saying, bro, they ain't even from here.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They ain't even from here.
I was about to say, and they probably send their money back, so they money don't get calculated here.
They do.
Because like
I
worked at the
nowhere to
currency
send our money
exchange.
back too.
Yeah, like I worked at the currency exchange. They sending $9,000 back home
all day.
Like,
and that 9,000, they going home taking care of the whole village. Like they back in Mexico living on the hog. They got ranches and farms and all type of stuff they buying.
$1 is $8 down there.
Yes. Yes.
The ratio to the dollar.
So guess what the percentage of Caucasians make up of rich people?
In America, let's see.
United States, I give it 35.
I'm gonna go with 82.
76%.
I was gonna say 77.
76%. So this is where my breakdown came in. I said if Black people spending 80% of the money every year, but the rich people only make up 8% of the Black people, then we ass backwards. So basically what it's saying is if we would figure out how to take the money that we spend and funnel it back around on ourselves, because in the Jewish community, the dollar passes through the Jewish community 9 times.
Right. Yeah.
In the African American community, it passes once.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a few key elements to that. Like, for instance, think about when we was growing up, Beans. When you went to the store, who owned the store?
The Arab.
No, but when we was growing up, it was a lot of what's the
Candy
other
stores. There was a lot of candy stores in my neighborhood. That's why I spent my
But
money.
who,
But I'm
what,
talking
what,
about
what's the,
Candy
what's the
house.
race of the people who owned them? Was them guys like Italian or
man,
it was like
Arabic,
Bulgarians
they was
and
Arabic, bro.
was they Arabic?
Arabic. It was Arabic. Then
When we was young,
yes. What are you talking about? Best
even
food?
right there on Menard and Augusta. You telling me that dude
man,
was
they was
Arabic?
Arabic. When they talking about Nick, all them, yeah.
I didn't know
Arabic.
that.
Yeah.
That's crazy, bro. I didn't know that.
Come on now. So this was my thing. They used to disrespect us as black men because they didn't want to deal with us. They always dealt with us like we was hostile.
Right.
But then they always wanted to screw on our black women. They had their intentions on marrying them, taking them home, or none of that. They just want to screw them because their wife ain't screwing them at home.
Right.
Yeah.
Then at 5 o'clock, when the sun go down, they close the store and go to whatever suburbs they stay in and divvy up all the money that they just got out the hood. But then as a people, we won't spend money with each other or help each other get in a position where we can be a commodity to the neighborhood.
Yeah.
That's true.
You understand what I'm saying? Now, low key, I don't want to start complaining or nothing like that. But I'm just a little bit. I'm just a little bit. So, a little bit. I have been a legitimate entrepreneur for 6 years. Well, I want to do business the right way. I want to pay my taxes. I want to make sure that all my paperwork is correct. I want to make sure I'm registered everywhere and so forth and so on. Now, I've been an entrepreneur all my life. I just want to do it right.
Right.
But for the past 6 years, I've been doing it correctly. So I find the most issues that I have is with our people.
True. That is true.
They want something for free.
They want a discount.
And when they see that you the owner of the company, which I just call myself the manager of operations. I don't even call myself the owner. I don't do that no more. Because soon as they feel like they know you, they be like, yeah, man, I know I spent $10 with you last week, but I got $250 today. But I want the same shirt that I spent $10 for. When actuality, it's the other way around. Hey, man, I spent $10 with you last week. I know you're trying to hold your own. I'm going to spend $12 with you this week. But you will go into a Macy's or one of these stores. You won't question their prices. You're going to pay that plus their taxes and the whole nine. Yeah. What we don't understand as a people, which I wound up understanding myself doing what I do, is it's harder for me as a black man to go into these places and get supplies for my business with no issues.
Right.
Without them trying to overcharge me, or I can't get the same credit that the white man getting. So he getting his on a 60-day net terms with a $10,000 credit. I got to pay for all mine up front on a credit card or cash.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? But the only way I'm able to change that is by buying power, because he coming in the door, dropping $20,000 on this, that, and so forth and so on, and I only got $1,000. So they looking at me like, man, we don't care nothing about your money. But our people want to beat you up the most. They want to pay the least amount of money for whatever it is that they getting from you, and then they demand the highest quality.
So let me ask you this, because I kind of see where you went with that. But the question of how much money does it take to break generational curses? If I'm listening to what you're saying right now, it seems like you saying we already got the money.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Come on. Yeah. That's what I'm telling you. We got the bread already, bro. We spending it and then giving it to the white.
Wow.
Every day. Just like I just asked you what I asked you, bro. when I said, man, you bought all them Nikes, but you don't own no stock in Nike.
Right.
Didn't that hit you some type of way?
Of course it did.
I mean, Nike stock is $145 per stock right now. You think black people gonna stop buying Nike?
Fix my sound. Yeah, I can't even hear no more.
Oh, we hear you though.
We definitely hear you though, Worm. You can't hear us? How about now?
Okay.
You good, Worm?
No, he ain't good. He's
I
still
can't even
shaking
hear
his
no
head.
more. He went off.
Maybe his headphones been
Hold on,
down.
let me try to.
Yeah. I can see his mic going in and out.
Yeah.
Okay, so then let me say this, since we are doing the show.
So wait. So my full answer to that is,
Damn, I can't
it's
hear
a
no
combination of we already have the money. We just need to put in place the financial literacy.
Damn audio just
do what need to be done.
Okay. How about this? Because I understand where you went with that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Hey, my bad, but I can't even hear no more. I gotta reset my phone. Let me rejoin it. I'm finna rejoin it.
Okay. What is this? No. That's not what I'm trying to do. All right. So, Candice, are you still there? Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay. Thank you. You there?
Yes,
okay.
sir.
So, the question of how much money does it take to break generational curses, right? So, two things real quick before I let you go, Candice. I read a post on Facebook. What did it say? It said, poor people spend all their money. I'm getting some feedback from somewhere. I think it might be me. It said, poor people spend all their money. The middle class saves all their money, and rich people invest all their money. And they said that's the difference in the classes. You know what I'm saying? You take poor people and they begin to invest their money, they will begin to climb out. I'm getting some serious feedback from somewhere. But they will begin to climb out. They can make it to the middle class and then they can make it to being rich, right? Or whatever. So that's one thing I wanted to say. The other thing was I seen something, I can't remember what it was, but I want to say that they said, and I don't want to misquote them, so I'm gonna put a parameter. They said somewhere between 2 and 5 million, right? So it was either 2 million, 3 million, or 5 million. They said one of those numbers. But even if you just go on the low end, they said 2 million was generational wealth. They said if you have 2 million liquid, like you can just go get 2 million cash right now with all of your investments and everything you got going on. They said that is general wealth. You can use that to set yourself up where 2, 3, 4 generations down the line, everybody is okay. Based on investments and property and different things you own.
Okay, yeah, I was just about to ask that question too.
Right. So
and notice this though, bro. Because I want to kind of add to what you said. 2 million is a foundation.
Mm-hmm.
So 2 million don't mean you made it. It's a foundation to spread out to start building the wealth that's needed.
Okay,
actually,
so by you saying that made me think it was 5, right? Let's say if I got 5 million right now, okay, let me give you an example. You remember the building I lived in when I stayed on Ferdinand, that 30-unit building.
Okay.
When he bought that building, he paid like 400-some thousand for it. It's worth like $3 million now.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying? He's on average, he's getting $500 per unit.
Right.
So if you got 30 units, 10 units, 500, that's 5,000. So he's getting 15,000 a month from that one building. You see what I'm saying? That's just one building. Dwayne Erschman owns a lot of buildings over there. You see what I'm saying? So I feel like if you got a building, again, this ain't income. We're talking about net worth. We're talking about $2 million, and it's you and your wife, and y'all got a nice house, and it's paid off. You know what I'm saying? And the kids is coming up, and they doing whatever. It's not like you got $2 million, but you got $2 million worth of debt. You know what I'm saying? You let's do best case scenario. You know what I'm saying? Good faith discussion. So Candice, I want you to tell me how much you think it would take to break a generational curse, but I also want you to tell me if you think $2 million is enough.
How much it'd take to break a generational curse? Honestly, I just feel like the mentality to save. Like Banjo said, like as Black people, we don't save. Like we live paycheck to paycheck. A lot of us live paycheck to paycheck. A lot of us live outside our means, buying shit that we ain't supposed to be buying. So I feel like if we gain the mentality in order to save and invest, our generational wealth that curse will be broken, because then you could teach your child how to save, where to put their money at, what to buy when necessary, and those learnings will continue on. Like I don't know about anyone else. I was never taught how to save. Like I never my parents and like my grandmother, like I knew she had a checking and savings, but nobody ever told me like my grandma tell me like, yeah, baby, put up $20 every day for a rainy day type thing. But you thinking like, okay, $20, I need to go get me some gas or something, or I'm finna go get me a drink or something. Like you're not really thinking about that because nobody educated me on savings.
But you know that's part of what I was saying. Like our parents was living in survival mode.
True.
So they was just trying to make it day to day. You feel what I'm saying? They weren't really they didn't think about no saving. They're like, well, we got to eat today.
Hold on, real quick. Real quick. I'm gonna interject this. I ain't gonna front. My OG been on a save bag since I was a kid. Like my OG stayed with $5,000, $6,000, $7,000, $8,000 in the savings account at any given time.
But like I was never taught. Like even though I knew she had it, I was never taught to save. Like it's a different. Like I knew my grandma had a savings for a rainy day. I knew my grandma maybe had something under a mattress. You feel me? Like if I was in a jam, I knew who to call type of situation. Who was gonna have, the money. But nobody ever taught me like what a savings is, how interest rates work, what APR rate is, what credit is. I was never taught until I started messing up my credit. Like like teaching those things, like learning those things as a parent and then teaching them to your kids can really stop a lot of like wealth problems, the generational wealth, like just being able to educate yourself on that. Because let me in my mentality, 2 million is enough for me. But like I said, I'm coming from a mentality of a survival mentality. 2 million, I know I can set my kids straight. My kids will be straight. That's my man, because 2 million to me is a lot of money because of the environment that I'm in now. Anybody get $2 million, you're gonna learn how to survive with that shit because you won't been broke so long.
So you just answered the question I was about to ask you again. Was 2 million enough? I wanted to say real quick. I want to ask Bang. So
radio
is the point of generational wealth, and I want to make sure I say this the right way, because when I say I've never wanted my son to have to work for anybody else, right?
That don't mean I didn't want my son to have to do some sort of work. You see what I'm saying? I started my trucking company, and the whole point of me starting that company was to have something to be able to hand to my son when he became an adult to say, okay, here you go. You ain't got to go punch nobody's clock. You know what I'm saying? You can come right out the gate working for yourself. So is the point of generational wealth not for them to not have to be responsible or do any sort of work in life, but is the point of generational wealth for our children to not have to work for other people?
No.
Yes.
No.
Like
I don't think so, neither.
Hold on. Let me start with Bang. And then I'm gonna go to Worm, and then I'm gonna go to Candice.
So let me just say, you know what I'm saying? This answer gonna be different for everybody, but I'm just speaking from experience. Like I said, my kids in their 20s right now. I've been an entrepreneur all my life. So at one point in time I did think like that. Beans like I was like, yeah, you know, I'm gonna start this print company, and you know what I'm saying, my kids will be able to work here and blah blah. Nah. And I'm gonna tell you why. Because my dream is not their dream.
True.
Facts.
Right.
So
okay. Yeah.
What I look at, I say, all right, the black man has been, and I feel so black when I say this, man. I didn't want to be that guy, but you know what I'm saying? But the black man has been robbed of his creativity since the birth of time, bro. Right. So, you know, I read about all these people like Nearest Green, which is the actual original creator of Jack Daniels, and the recipe was stole from him, and people have been drinking that all this time, and even his lineage is still supposed to be benefiting off of that up until this day. You know what I'm saying? Right. The black man created the air conditioner. The black man created the traffic light. I mean, things that we still use to this day, in which they lineage should still be eating off of that. Like, that's one of the reasons why music was so foul the way it was, because that was one of the easiest residual incomes that you can get from a person that would constantly make money and be able to be passed on over and over again. So when you say that, I say we got to start thinking long term. So, like, for instance, my granddaughter, and that sounds funny too, but my granddaughter is like 6. So my plan is to put her portfolio together to start off with $10,000 invested in mutual funds and income things that will give her compound interest. So when she turns 18 or 21 years old, she got a check coming. Right. And then that check, that $10,000, by the time she get 18 or 21, turns into, you know what I'm saying, 200,000, 250,000. And then she can take 50,000 out of that when she get 21. And then that other 200 continues to compound interest until she turns 30. You know what I'm saying? Then when she get married, she can cash out 100, and so forth and so on. And setting up things to where it constantly pours into your family even after you die, because it's the support that makes the difference. You know what I'm saying? Just like with me starting my business, me and my wife started this business off our bootstraps, bro. Like, my parents helped me out with a couple things, but they didn't understand what I was doing. Right. They just, like, my son print t-shirts. That's what he do. He print t-shirts. He's an entrepreneur. I don't know exactly what's going on, but you know, I know he's trying to do something. Right. You feel what I'm saying? So just to have that support alone allows us as Black people to step out on the creativity that we're born with naturally, because the Bible says that your gifts will make a way for you. So having the support to actually expound on those gifts and put those gifts out in the world long enough to be able to get residual income from those gifts puts you in a position that take care of you for the rest of your life. And even when you die, your kid will benefit off of those things for the rest of their life. Like, if I leave here right now, my son's gonna make money off my music. If I leave here right now, my son's gonna make money off of the life insurance plans that I got in place for them. You know what I'm saying? If I leave here now, my son's gonna make money from all this stuff I got around here that they gonna sell and blah 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 and so forth and so on. You feel what I'm saying? But when my grandparents passed, they didn't leave me no money. They left me with a bunch of knowledge.
Right.
No money, but they was in survival mode. They was one generation removed from slavery. Fathom that. Right. And even being one generation removed from slavery, they came off a plantation. So imagine coming from off a plantation where somebody constantly putting you in debt and telling you that you owe them for this and owe them for that, and then you running off and coming to a city like Chicago and then having to survive on your own with 7 kids. That's a whole nother lifestyle, bro.
Most definitely. So when I ask the question, do you think general wealth is for your kids to not have to work for anybody else? You said no, but Candice, you said yes. I want to know why you said yes.
My yes is because I'm setting my kids up. Like my dream, like I'm a business owner as well. Like I own a candy store, but like my wealth that I'm getting from this is to pursue my kids' dream. Like my daughter wanted to open up her lip gloss line, so I'm setting them up to not to go have to go work for somebody, to go pursue your dream of what you want to do with your life. Where do you see yourself want to go? Do you want to go to college? Is college something for you? College ain't for everybody. College, like some people, a lot of people have college degrees, don't even use that shit. So like, is that the avenue you want to go? And do you want to own a business? Do you want to get in my business line? Like, so my general wealth is for my children to be able to do whatever they want to do with themselves, whatever they want to do with their life. If you want to if you want to go punch a clock for somebody else to gain that experience, or if that's what you choose to do, hey, that's what you choose to do. But I just know that you have a cushion. Like I'm giving them a cushion in order to not be in the same situation I was in at their age. Like that's my whole thing as a parent. I'm trying to not have them experience the things that I've experienced in life as I went on through life. So like $2 million to me would satisfy me, and making sure that all 3 of my kids is set up for whatever they want to do with their life in the future.
Now, can I ask you a question? What about you?
What do you mean? What about me? I stopped thinking about me. Like how I feel is my life start back when my kids is grown. Like I chose to have kids, so right now my responsibility is my kids. Okay. Like they can't hold responsibility for themselves. So my hindsight right now is to make sure that my kids is situated and me being able to survive till they 18, so they can, whatever they do at 18, they're able to do it, and I can then, once my little baby is 18, then I get my life back. Then I can worry about me. But honestly, right now I'm living for my kids.
Okay. I've been there, done it. I understand.
So let me say this. I did believe that generational wealth was so that your kids would not have to work for anybody else. I don't believe that anymore. And the reason why is because of what Bang said earlier, because your kids, because they are unappreciative, selfish bastards, they don't care. They don't care about what your dreams are for them. These little motherfuckers want to have their own dreams.
True.
You know what I'm saying?
But
they
you had
do
your
their
own dreams.
You know
How can you call them selfish? You had your own dreams.
I know, and I was selfish.
Had a plan for you,
and I was selfish. And I was selfish, and that's why right now my son, and I'm actually this is actually going to be one of the topics for next week, so I don't want to go all the way into it. But my son, I got a plan for him after he graduate high school, and he gonna do it, or I'm gonna hit him in his throat. Like it ain't nowhere around that. You know what I'm saying? Like I ain't trying to hear it because at the end of the day, what I know,
that's a grown man.
I know.
Listen, what I understand in my life at my age is that when you 18, you don't know nothing.
True.
When you 28, you don't know nothing. When you 38, you don't know nothing. Okay, I ain't got the 48 yet, but I know when I get there, I ain't gonna know nothing. Yeah. You don't know nothing about what's in front of you until you get there. And everybody needs some sort of mentor, some sort of coach, some sort of blueprint. You know what I'm saying? So that, like, okay, when
there
I was
is a blueprint to life. You can never give
no, not to life. We ain't even talking about life. Because to me, this is where I separate things at. To me, money ain't life.
True.
Money ain't life. That money is what you need because you have to pay for things in the world. So that's why I said one of the topics that I'm gonna be talking about next week is $42,000 a year enough? Right? Because according to the statistics, the average black man in America makes $42,000 a year. The average black woman makes $37,000 a year, right? And black men are across social media being dogged out for only making $42,000 a year, but 51% of black men are single and childless. So I'm just saying, $42K a year by myself, I ain't got no woman and no kids. That's all right. That's okay money. I can live okay with that. It's only when you start bringing in family and children and other things does it, it becomes insufficient. So because that's the topic for next week, I don't want to go deep into it. But what I'm saying is I know when I was 19, 20, thinking I was going to be a big rapper, I thought I was going to blow up. You know what I'm saying? Jay Philly, and I'd have changed my name so many times thinking that was going to help me blow up, right? And the whole time my mama was saying, well, my mom was telling me forget that rap stuff, right? She didn't think I should be trying to be no rapper. But at the end of the day, it was other people that were saying, man, well, that's cool. You're going to do rap. Okay, cool. But go ahead and go to school at the same time, though, so you have something to fall back on. Go ahead and work this little job on the side, though, while you're trying to do that. You know what I'm saying? So you can have at least that going for you as well. And I was just like a horse with blinders on. All I wanted to do was rap. Right? And so I spent so many years chasing a rap career, and then I didn't even do that well because when it was time to go to New York, go to Atlanta, go to Cali, go to Florida, I wouldn't go. Why? Because I got a woman. I ain't leaving my woman to go to no Miami, no Cali, no Florida, no. You crazy? Ain't nobody finna trying to touch on my woman.
Can I add a little to that?
Yes, you may.
Your other problem was, which I slightly had the same issue, but I woke up a little bit later on, is something somebody told me, one of my lawyers that I hired, he said, it's called the music business for a reason.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, what do you mean? He said, it's partially music, and the other part is business. If you don't learn the business,
right,
you're not gonna be into the music.
Right.
You're not doing music business.
Right.
So you can be as talented as you want to be. You can give all the creativity, but if you don't learn the business, at the end of the day, you're gonna wind up getting screwed out of everything you got.
I definitely was not focused on the business. I wasn't. Listen, man. You know that old saying, "Jack of all trades." That's me. I'm a jack of all trades. I can play basketball. I can shoot a little bit. I can dribble well, but I can't even go to my right. You know what I'm saying? I could make beats pretty good, but I don't know how to engineer at all. You know what I'm saying? I can rap really well, but I don't even know how to hold the microphone right, to be honest with you. You know what I'm saying? I be getting feedback and all type of stuff. So I'm really not that guy.
Maybe if you got a little coaching and somebody believed more in you, maybe the rap career would have took off. That's what I'm saying as far as your child.
Listen, Candice, he was hard-headed.
What we not about to do right now is we not about to talk about all the mistakes that I've made in life. Listen, this is what I'm trying to tell y'all. because I know that's me, and I know my son is just like my son is 16, and he don't care about nothing but his girlfriend. His girlfriend and Fortnite. That's all he care about. Okay. So I know, and for a minute I thought his mom was wrong because she didn't have a plan for him past 18. I'm just trying to make sure he graduated high school. And I'm like, well, you an
what's
adult
his
way
plan?
more than you a
Did you
kid.
ask him his plan? Did you ask him what he want to do?
You know what? I did. And I'm telling you what he want to do. He want to be with his girlfriend and he want to play Fortnite. I'm telling you what he
Tell
want
him
to
to
do.
be a YouTuber then. You get paid.
That's
for
what I'm talking
YouTubers
about. That's what I'm talking
playing
about.
the
He wants to
game.
play the video games. He want to play the video game online, thinking he's gonna make a lot of money. But because my son is like me, Candice, he don't want to compete. The people who play the video game online, they compete. They actually be battling and talking crazy. My son is the type, he's gonna put the game on easy. He gonna turn all of the sliders up to make sure all his shots go in. He don't want to compete. You see what I'm saying?
Wow.
So that ain't really his lane. You know what I'm saying? Plus, he hasn't even really developed a real personality yet, so he can't even really be that entertaining. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So my thing is, okay, listen, I'll buy you all of that equipment that you need to do the video game stuff.
Stick a pin in that. Stick a pin in that. Let's rewind.
Yes, sir.
You say your son ain't really did what?
He hasn't grown a personality yet. He's not entertaining like I am.
You say your son.
Yeah. My son.
Personality yet?
Nah. If he did, I ain't seen it. If he did, he ain't showed it around me. He ain't showed it around me at all. Now look, I took him to the mall and bought him some shoes a few weeks ago. He had the same black outfit that I bought him for my little brother's funeral. He had that black outfit on, black Air Force Ones, and I had traded in some stuff that I was returning and got him his hat. And so he had the hat on, you know, he got the dreadlocks and all that. And we went to the restaurant. He got a little toothpick. He's sitting there chewing on his toothpick. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, under the cool act. I'm like, dude, you ain't no thug. I'm like, stop trying to sit there looking like you a thug, bro. You ain't no thug, bro. I'm like, I'm a thug, dude. Okay? You ain't no thug, man. He started laughing. We had a good old time. But what I'm saying is this. The plan that I got for him, what I realized is that it ain't his mama's job to have a plan for him past 18. That's his daddy's job. So I had to get over being upset with her just because he lived with her. Just because he lived there don't mean my responsibilities change. You see what I'm saying? I have to do what I have to do as a father. So I got a plan for him at 18, and he gonna do it, or I'm gonna knock his ass out. Straight up.
But you don't want him to resent you either for making him do
He ain't gonna resent me. No, you listen, Candice, and I don't mean to interrupt. It's okay for him to resent me. That's okay, as long as he get the job done. As long as he get the plan done, he can resent me all he wants to, because I'm concerned about his future.
The man's supposed to bring the discipline to the table.
Right.
The man is supposed to make the son understand that no matter what's going on, you some things you got to do.
Right.
Period.
Right. Right.
Exactly. And you may not like what I'm telling you to do right now, but it's for your own good. And in the course of you doing what I'm telling you to do, hopefully you wake up and find yourself. But for right now, you can do what the hell I'm telling you to do.
Straight up. Straight up and down, because at the end of the day,
don't make him leave my child alone.
What's going on?
No, I'm not one of that. I come from a household where things had to be done. Like it had to be done. Like I've been in that household where my parents made me do things that I didn't want to do. So that's what I'm saying. Like as coming from that and a parent, like I have my children's best interest at heart, but at 18, I have felt like I have raised you enough to make choices now. Now it's time for you to start making choices for yourself. because at this now I am shaping, molding you to be an adult. And just because I tell you to do something, I don't want you to go behind me sneaking and not doing it. You feel what I'm saying? Because you don't want to do it. So I'd rather you voice your opinion to me of you not wanting to do it, but tell me what you want to do. What is your passion? What do you want to do with yourself? 18, where do you see yourself? Do you want to move? Where do you like? What do you want to do?
We
Like
getting some
that's
feedback.
the question.
I don't know if that. Hold on, real quick. I don't know if that's you, Candice. I'm getting some feedback. Say something real quick.
I've been getting feedback too.
Yeah, see, I don't know if that's you or me. Maybe try turning your volume down a little bit, maybe, and let's see if that's it. If that do it.
How about now?
Yeah, I ain't hear nothing that time.
Okay, I did something with the settings. It was something about the echo.
I think it's still something there a little bit, but it ain't really horrible. But okay, so now let's go to what you just said, right? So let me ask you this: do you make room for the possibility that as a mom you have a different role than a dad?
Yeah, but as a single parent, I have to absorb all of them.
And this is the thing about that. I really wanted to delve into this next week too, but since we're here, I don't think most moms can do that. I think they tell themselves that they playing dual roles, but most moms, you're a mother, right? And women tend to run it. Hold on, let me finish real quick. Most women tend to run their logic through their emotion, right? So like what my son's mom, she sat there on the couch and I told him beforehand, your mom don't have no plans for you past 18. Then we went and had a conversation with his mom, and she sat right on the couch. She said, all I want him to do is graduate high school. And that's her biggest thing. Graduate high school. And when he ain't doing well in high school, she act like it's killing her, right? But the reason why is because you see an 18-year-old boy as an adult. So therefore, you feel like I did my job. He ain't dead. He ain't in jail. I got him to 18. He graduated high school. I did my job, right? So not you per se, but I'm saying in general. And so now it's on you. And what I'm saying is most, and I'm gonna just be bold and say 90+% of Black boys are not being prepared properly to face life. They're not. They're not emotionally or psychologically ready to make no decisions.
We can't raise a man. We don't know how to raise a man. Like I'm a woman and I can't raise a man. But because the lack of their fathers choosing not to be in their life, I have to absorb that role. So what he was saying, like I have to be a discipline. Like as a woman, I'm not supposed to be a discipline. The man is supposed to be discipline, but I have to pick up that role. I have to pick up that role. Speaking to them about women, even though that should be coming from a man, about their body, about the penis, all that stuff should be coming from a man because I don't have that experience. But because they don't have that figure in their life, I have to pick up that role. It's not that I want to pick up that role. It's not like I'm forced. And that's 90% of women is forced to be a man and a woman.
But wait a minute. The reason why I asked you, do you make room for the fact that as a mom and you have a different role than the father, is because when you said, man, do you want to force him to do it? What if he resents you? These are things that fathers can take. These are the reason why fathers are important, because we can make those decisions and then we can take that resentment. We can take that anger and he mad at me because I know 10 years from now, he's going to be glad I forced him to do that. He's going to be happy that I made him do something that he didn't want to do, because that's what actual discipline is. Discipline is doing stuff that you don't want to do when it's time to do it. You know what I'm saying?
True, and but so, I mean, a woman does that as well too. I mean, I'm not gonna. I mean, as a woman, I mean, if you're dealing with a difficult child, no matter as a man or a woman, if that child is gonna resent you, it's gonna resent you. Like most kids is going to resent their parents. It's just a rebellious thing.
Right, that happens at a certain age, right?
But right at a certain age, it deals with rebellious, it deals with all of that. But as a woman, we coddle more than men. Like it's more. There's really no emotions there with men, and that's where men lack it as well too, because we teach our boys that they shouldn't show emotions. They shouldn't have emotion. Like be strong. Like this, and that's the problem. And that's the problem in the household. Like,
well, can I correct you real quick? Can I correct something real quick? Can I correct something real quick? When you say that it's not emotional, that's not actually true. It is emotional because we know what our boys, we know what our sons are going to have to face in life. We know what's in front of them. And so that's why it's an emotional decision to make them do something that they don't want to do. It is an emotional decision because I know if you don't get these few things under your belt, it's just going to make life hard for you. You know what I'm saying? Like next week, one of the topics is going to be about college versus union.
Oh, no, take it back.
If I have a choice to send my child to school or to a union, I would prefer to send him to a union because he can get right in right now and learn a skill to be able to use his hands that will be able to provide for him for the rest of his life and almost guarantee that he will be an entrepreneur and can start his own business because he has a skill that he can market, right?
And I would agree 100% with you.
So that's what I'm saying. For me, it's like I know when I can look back and know the things that I lacked, that I was deficient in, that I didn't have, then I'm going to automatically make an emotional decision to force those things upon my son so that he don't make the same mistakes I made because I know he's going to. Because he's my son, he acts just like me, he feels just like me. I ain't gonna say he think just like me, but he act and feel like how I feel. That's why he in love with this girl, don't care about nothing but her. You know what I'm saying? And that's why all he want to do is play Fortnite all day long. You know what I'm saying? He would sit on that phone, on that game for hours with the girl on the phone and the headphones on, and him and her just sitting there talking for hours.
But I mean, that's what a 16-year-old do. I mean, what do you want your 16-year-old to do? Be in the streets?
That's what our 16-year-olds do.
No,
that ain't
but
what the 16-year-olds are doing.
I would want my 16-year-old being at a job or something, but I mean, I would rather my son be at home playing Fortnite than somewhere out in the streets, me not knowing him getting into trouble.
Oh, no doubt. 100%
I'll
agree.
take that over that. Especially
100% agree. 100% agree with that. But I can appreciate the fact that my son ain't no thug. He don't care about no drugs, no gangs, no none of that. He focused on one girl. That's good. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, what I'm saying is when I'm looking at his competition, because that's what the other people are. They're competition. You know what I'm saying?
That's the problem. That's the black man. They're not competition. Black people are not your competition. Like
not black people. Not black people. I'm talking about white boys.
Everybody is in your own lane. You in your own lane. You move.
Hold on, Candice. Not when you have to work a job. When you have to work a job, you are competing. Ain't no way around that. You see what I'm saying? And when you have, like, my mom used to tell me all the time. My mom used to work at it's Chase Bank now, but it was First National Bank back in the day. They was downtown. My mom used to work there. And I remember she used to come home frustrated because these kids was coming in doing less work than she was doing, but they was making more money than her. And so she always tell the story how she went to her boss like, I don't understand. I'm only making 40,000. These kids coming in, they making 70. And I do way more work than they do. We all work on the trade floor, but I'm doing the bank newsletter. I'm doing all this other stuff. I'm working directly for the president. And her boss told her, them kids invested in themselves. They coming in here with a degree. That's the difference. The difference is that they have a degree behind their name. And because they have that degree, they making more money, right? So they took the time to invest in themselves. And that's what I'm saying. The other races, when they kids is 16-year-olds, they kids is working, they kids is in the books, they kids is learning skills. I mean, my mom was just having some work done to her house. one of them boys that was in there working, he said he was 19.
True.
He was upstairs painting the whole house at 19. I don't know how to paint. And I'm in my 40s and I don't know how to paint. You see what I'm saying? And that's what I mean, is that the other races tend to give their kids a head start on things. They learn skills earlier. They learn life skills earlier. They're more they tend to be more emotionally and psychologically mature at an earlier age, and they're more financially aware earlier, and that's because their parents are giving them things early in the game. They're not waiting till they're 18 to say, okay, go learn all this stuff you need to learn to be an adult. They're giving them this stuff when they're teenagers. They're giving it to them when they're younger than that, I would suppose sometimes. But that's what I mean. So for my son to be 16, hopefully he's about to graduate high school on time, right? Once he turned 18, then what? We're going to sit back and let him decide where he going to go get a job at and all of that? No. I know the best route for him. So therefore, I put a plan together for him. That plan includes for him to be going into a union and into an apprenticeship at the same time, because I know he don't really want to go to school. So going into both of those things, even if he decides he don't want to finish, if he don't want to do the union with the apprenticeship, he'll have a job. If he start that job at 18, even if he give him 20 years, he can retire at 38. If he give them 30 years, he can retire at 48. You see what I'm saying? The point is to do that early.
But why you wait till he's 18? He's 16. Show him a job now. Right. You just other people are showing that we can show our kids too. We just choose not.
Well, now because he's only 16.
On school, this and this. But go get a job. At 16, at 15 years old, I had my first job. And
at
that's
15,
my plan for my kids. Like, go work for McDonald's. Like, ain't nothing wrong with it. You in high school, you want to work McDonald's. Like, go make your own money. See how it feels to get your own money.
Let me be a hypocrite. Let me be a hypocrite real quick. So I used to work for Red Snapper, the chicken and fish place, delivering food. So I went and talked to the guy, asked him, will he let my son work there for the summer, just working on the register. And he was like, yeah, man, no problem. He can come get 20 hours a week. I'm like, cool. When it was time for my son to go, I didn't send him. I felt some type of way about sending my son to work at a chicken fish shack. You know what I'm saying? Even though he would have just been on the register. So I ain't gonna lie, I'm a bit hypocritical in that way, because I wanted him to have a job, but I wanted him to get the job at the movie theater, because I felt like that would be a cool job. It's right around the corner from his house. He could ride his bike there, or get a ride, or walk. It's right around the corner from his girlfriend's house, so she can walk up there and see him while he at work with his little uniform on. He could sneak her in the movies, free popcorn. I had like this whole plan. And he applied for the job and they never called him or whatever. And I just did not want to send him to the chicken shack.
But why you didn't teach him how to follow up with jobs? You supposed to teach your child how to follow up with jobs. They don't call you back, you call them back. Find the hiring manager. Like, we have to teach our kids these things too. Like, I know when my kids get old enough, I'm filling out job applications for them. I'm going to sit down with them. We'll go over this job application. I'm going to teach you how to do your resume. Like, you have to teach our kids these things in order for them to be successful as well. We can't just expect them. Like, it can't just be expected. We have to, or them expected for them to learn it at school. The school system is crazy right now. You have to really teach your child at home. Like, really teach your child at home the Black history and wealth and how to come up out of poverty. Like, for real. It's not being taught at school.
Bang, let me ask you this. How old is your youngest?
18.
18. Is a boy or girl? Girl. If she was a boy at 18, would you feel some type of way about him working in fast food?
No.
No?
You know why? because I'm learning at this point that no matter what you do, you're gonna have to work. If you're a business owner, you're gonna have to work.
Right.
The same 16 hours that you will put in at another job, you will have to put in for yourself. So I would send them there just to learn work ethic and just to see this is something I don't want to do. This is something I love to do. One or the other.
Right.
Whichever one it is. Only for the experience.
And this is what's crazy because I understood that too. I ain't gonna pretend like I didn't understand that the point of it was for him to get the work ethic. It's just when I was standing in the restaurant and I just envisioned him standing behind that counter, I was like, oh no, man. I can't put my son through this. You know what I'm saying? It really shouldn't even matter, bro. Like, I probably hindered him in a way by doing that because he pretty much spent the summer playing a video game and hanging out with his girlfriend. But I just didn't feel comfortable doing it. But this was so odd, right? Because the next question on the list, it was only 2 more, and the next question on the list was, how are we preparing our sons for adulthood? And like I said, I got a whole plan for my son when he turned 18. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, as soon as you graduate, this is what it is: apprenticeship, union. We ain't like, because these 2 things I know for sure. Like I said, if you get in those, then I know you're gonna be good money-wise. Because again, men are emotional. We pretend like the decisions that we make ain't emotional, but they are. We might run our emotions through our logic, which is the opposite of what women do. They run their logic through their emotions, but we are emotional. And I know my son, one thing I know I can't prevent him from is heartbreak. It's coming because he's just like me. He all about that girl. He all about being in love. Like when I try to talk to him and tell him, you know, son, I had to stop doing this though. I'll be like, son, that girl, she probably ain't gonna last forever. And you should just see the sadness that will come across his face. You know what I'm saying? Just because I said it's a possibility that that relationship ain't gonna last forever. So what I did was I stopped speaking negative about his relationship, and then I just started speaking positive and light into him and understanding that you have to be on your purpose. I don't care what woman you love and how much you love her. If you don't have your thing together, if you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing, you will lose every woman you love focusing on the woman. You got to focus on you, and you got to make sure your thing is tight. Therefore, you can be with the woman as much as you can. You can love her as much as you can. You can provide for her the way you want to, protect her the way you want to, be a father to the kids that y'all bring in this life. You know what I'm saying? And have a real bomb marriage. You know what I'm saying? A 2-parent household and all this other stuff, all these dreams and goals that you want in life with this woman. You're not going to have any of that if you not setting yourself up to be at least financially straight. Because if you financially straight, then you can work on the emotional. You can work on the psychological.
No,
you can do therapy and stuff like that. You can't agree with that? Why?
I can't agree with that. You have to be emotionally and mentally stable for the financial life. That doesn't come later. Like,
but
who of
us are though? I don't know anybody that's 100% emotionally and psychologically healthy. I don't know anybody.
That's what I'm saying. But that's the problem. That's what I'm saying. It comes from not being addressed with younger. It's because it's been depressed for so long. Like that's why people is not mentally stable. So they feel like the money is supposed to make up for the mental and the other type of problems that you have that it will make up for because that this person is financially stable, but money can't buy happiness. Money
no. Listen, not make up for it. What I'm saying is this: we're gonna have you when you're dealing with another person, when you're trying to be in a relationship one-on-one, with going to be complications. Period. Right? Okay, we agree on that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so Knowing that, what I'm saying is if you can alleviate the financial complication, then that leaves room for you to work on the other complications. Because if money is an issue, that's just going to make it 10 times harder to deal with the mental stuff, to deal with the emotional stuff. So if you got the money part, especially as a man, if you got the money part together, you ain't never dependent on no woman. She can't never tell you she paying all the bills. She can't never tell you get out of the house. You ain't got to deal with all of that extra stuff that comes with a man who ain't financially straight. If you got that together, then you have the time, you have the space, you have more of a mental capacity to deal with the emotional and psychological stuff because you ain't worried about bills.
Right, but as people, that's why we shouldn't hop in relationships like that. Like as a woman is real. Like if you financial and that's why I said with like it goes back to loving yourself. Like before anybody should deal with another person, you have to look at self. Are you can you take care of yourself?
Right.
Can you love yourself? Can you do for self? Like, and that's where a lot of people fail at. They're not taking care of self. They're thinking somebody else is supposed to take care of them. Then they're hopping in these relationships, and now they got all these problems. But if you took care of self first, you wouldn't have had these problems.
And see, and that's what I'm saying, because I've been in that situation. I don't want, like you were saying, we don't want our kids to go through certain things. It's some stuff our kids are inevitably going to go through it, right? And the fact that we've already been through it has prepared us to deal with it. You see what I'm saying? So it's like you're not going to avoid them going through it, especially when you're talking about relationship stuff. Because I remember when my daughter mom was pregnant with her, and I sat with this guy right here, Bang G, and he told me, man, look, you better be prepared for this, and that. And I'm like, man, ain't none of that stuff gonna happen to me. I'm Beans. What you mean? You know what I'm saying? I'm Travion. Ain't none of that stuff gonna happen to Travion. Right. Man, I went through this, and that. Everything he said that was gonna happen, it happened. And it was because it ain't about this woman or that man. It's about relationships. It's about parenting. It's about baby mama, baby daddy. You know what I'm saying? It's just about certain situations. It's things that come along with that. So, like, I think we really in agreement, because, like, when you said, Candice, when you said that you don't think people should jump into relationships, I would 100% agree with that. But I also feel like as men, we tend to just accept life the way it is more. Like, we less about changing it. We just try to work our way around it. We try to adapt with it, right? And because of that, I'm looking at the situation with my son and I'm saying, this is inevitable. I don't know nobody who was dating at 14, 15. Well, no, my cousin Worm, who was just on him. Him and his wife was dating at like 15, 16. They was together for all them years, and then they got married. They got 3 kids together. That's the only one I know. I don't know anybody else who met their girlfriend in high school, dated through high school, became adults, and got married and had kids and a family and bought a house in it, and still together after all these years. I don't know one situation like that. So it's hard for me to address my son like that's something that's just plausible.
I mean, it is though. A lot of people are doing it now. A lot of people meet their high school sweetheart, and they stay with them. Like, and some people get heartbroken. Some people go through the ups and downs. But I mean, you can never prepare a child for a heartbreak. You can never prepare a child how to love someone. You know what I'm saying? Like that's their own emotion that they have formed themselves. So all we can do is just show them how to love and how to love someone back. But you can't control who you love. You can't control who that child loves, and you don't know if that relationship may last. I mean, you gotta look at, not to be racist or anything, but a lot of Mexicans meet in high school and they last. Like,
they different though.
I mean, it's different backgrounds, different ethnicities, and stuff like that. I understand that, but I'm just saying, like, we should try to nurture things like that instead of trying to downplay. Like, nah, man, that's just a high school fling. You feel me? Like, you will get over it. Like, we do that kids as parents. Like, oh, it'll be another one. Like, we try to like. We try to brush it off like, okay, you too young, you don't know what this is. But some people younger than us know how to love better than we do as adults.
I agree with that. Strangely, I agree with that. Strangely, I do agree with that. Bang, let me ask you this.
Wait. Let me adjust that right quick, though.
Okay, go ahead.
So, in that particular situation, I come to a place like this. I'm learning that when you're a father, there are certain spirits and certain things that feel like they have a right to your child. Everything that he's saying about his son is some of the same stuff that I used to talk to him about. I used to tell him all the time, man, you ain't gonna be with your baby mama forever, G. Like, you need to start thinking about this and that. You need to be on this and that. And the look that he used to look at me when I used to say these things was like, you evil. You trying to break up our relationship. You trying to make me do something I don't want to do. You know what I'm saying? But it's just funny to hear him say this because he's saying the same thing to his son right now. Like, I remember talking to this man after he left the hospital. Him and his baby mama got into a straight up brawl. Like, he was cut up and all type of stuff. I'm like, bro, you got to leave this relationship, man. Like, this is gonna kill you. Like, what are you doing? And he was like, you just don't understand. Like, you don't get it. But my logic and his heart was saying two completely different things.
Mm-hmm.
So he just talking to the old him.
Facts. Facts. That's big facts right there. That is big facts right there. And that's what I'm saying, man. Hey, listen, DNA is a motherfucker.
Man.
Straight up.
Look,
it's some stuff
bro.
that you just can't even get around when it comes to DNA.
Let me hit you with one, bro. My son is selling weed right now, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he's selling weed hard. And then he's telling me I don't know nothing about what he's doing.
Now that is funny. Now that is hilarious. Wow.
I'm like, fam, let me help you, man. Let me tell you what to do. Man, Dad, you don't understand. This is a new day and age, and you know what I'm saying? Walk around, blah, blah. I'm like, man. So only thing that I do is I just pray for my son.
Right.
I pray for him. And I pray that he come out of whatever it is that he's going through. And anytime his ears open, I try to spit some knowledge and try to make him legitimize what he's doing. And he's a lot more level-headed than he used to be. You know what I'm saying? But they have to be different because the world is different from when we was young.
Mm-hmm.
But history repeats itself. He just looked like a little me, G. Like, he just running around doing all this stuff, everything. You know what he doing right now? He doing everything that somebody telling him he could do to make money.
Right.
He making exactly. He's selling weed. He doing everything. And I'm like, man, look, I've been here before, man. Let me tell you how to get where you're going.
Right.
I ain't trying to hear that, man. You come with all that over there. I ain't nobody trying to hear that.
Right. I'll tell you this. This is what's so funny about what you just said, is because I know your background. Come on. You know what I'm saying? But I will say this though. I think sometimes the game, like the drugs stay the same, but the game do change a little bit though. Because when I was thinking about getting back into the weed industry, you know, I was big on delivery. And my man's name was telling me, nah, man, you can't do that. These niggas will rob you, they will kill you.
Yeah.
And I'm like, bro, back in 09, come on, man. All I did was ride around. I'm talking about all through the east side, all through Inglewood, all through the hundreds.
Yeah.
Only time I came out west was when it was somebody I knew that called and asked me for something. Other than that, I used to just all night long ride through Inglewood, ride through the east side, ride through the hundreds, hitting gas stations up. I'm getting out bags. I'm knowing people gonna contact me. I'm doing my thing, bro. Early in the morning, 8 o'clock in the morning. The Moles over on 79th. By Yates or something over there. They used to call me 8, 9 o'clock in the morning, bro, for bud, because by 10, 11, they were shooting at each other.
Right.
So they calling me mad early to get their weed. You know what I'm saying? Hey, come bring it to us early, because you know you're gonna be dodging bullets if you come in later than that, right? So, and I never was robbed, never had no issues. But my man, I'm like, bro, it's different now. You can't be. He like, man, look, you can't be put. I'm like, bro, so you telling me right now, somebody called me, yeah, bro, I need an eighth. I gotta be worried about an eighth, my nigga? That's $50. What are you talking about? He like, man, niggas will kill you for that eighth.
Yeah.
Niggas will rob you, take your car and that eighth, nigga.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm like, bro, and I'm not a real fan of fear mongering, right? So I felt like he was fear mongering me in a minute, but he the one who's selling me the weed. So he wouldn't be trying to talk me out of buying his weed. You see what I'm saying? He just like, man, I don't think that's a good idea.
That's why I tell you we're living in GTA. Like it is. Like
he did say it earlier, didn't he?
it's a sad world to live in Chicago right now. Like it's sad. Especially out south. Out south is, I mean, out west is probably as bad as out south right now. But it's just sad now that somebody will pull you up out your car as quick as a blink of an eye. Like you scared to pump your gas now. You gotta keep your bang on you to pump your gas.
You know what's so crazy about you saying that though, Candice? Back in the day, being from the west side, we used to talk more stuff than a little bit to the south side. Oh man, we used to get out there. All y'all do is shoot and kill. All y'all do is gangbang. You know what I'm saying? Y'all, the whole south side ain't nothing but a cemetery. And then when I left Chicago, 2014, come back 2020, and everybody is like, the west side is the worst side of town. I'm like, what?
No, it's not the worst town. Like, don't get me wrong, it's not the worst town. South side is definitely beat on the violence. But what it's so rapidly now. They are using the word mass shootings so rapidly now. All you hear is about mass shootings. More than 3 to 4 people getting shot at one time, and all this shit like this. You feel what I'm saying? So the problem out south is they still gangbang. Out south is gangbanging. Out west is worried about who dead homie is dead. Like that's the beef now. Like out south is catching up on the gangbanging, and it's just, and social media is not helping nothing.
Yeah.
It's influencing it more. It's engaging it more, because now people can sit up on a platform. I can post myself with a gun, say I'm smoking on your dead homies, but 10 minutes later, I'm caught lacking. You know what I'm saying? Like, how is this possible? Like, what is going on? People are so disrespectful now. It's ridiculous. Like there's no level, there's no respect. These children don't have respect for their parents, and they don't have respect for anybody on the street. Half of these kids that's going to jail, look at them, they between the age of 17 and like 30, losing their life, killing, like real life out here, just killing people.
Let me ask you something, Bang.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so the topic that we started on was how we preparing our boys for adulthood.
Mhm.
Do you think that your sons appreciate and value having a father? Do you think they understand what that value is?
No,
No.
no,
But have
That's
they
just
ever been without you?
no.
That's probably why.
Yeah, and that's it. You're absolutely correct.
They never
And
expected to be without you.
he and that's what I tell them. That's what I tell them. Like, y'all never had to deal with me not being around. Like, even when I was young and wild, he would even tell you. I'd be like, man, you know what? I gotta go. I gotta go get my kids. It's the holiday. I gotta woo out the bam. I'll holler at y'all when I get back. You understand what I'm saying? It was like that when I was early in my 20s. And they have no appreciation for none of that. And how could you miss something
That you never
that
been without.
exactly.
You know what? And the reason why I thought about that is because it's another platform that I be watching. First of all, let me get this out the way because I've been wanting to say this to you for a couple of weeks now.
Okay.
All y'all Southside niggas, 35 or older, sound exactly the same. It's really ridiculous, bro. When I listen to Corey talk and when I listen to this other cat, Chicago on this other platform, all y'all be saying woo wop the bam, this, that, and the third. All y'all talk exactly the same. It really don't make no sense. But the thing I was gonna say was when I listened to this other cat though on this one platform, this dude said he grew up with, okay, his mom and dad was married, all his uncles married, grandpa, grandma married. Everybody pretty much had their own businesses. Like, this is the cloth that he was cut from, and yet he says, ain't no excuses for y'all niggas out here. Right? Like, he doesn't, exactly. Like, he does not even understand, like Candice said, what he had. He know that it's something good because he knows the statistics, and he know that a lot of cats don't have it.
Bro,
And
listen to me, bro. My son looked me square in my eyes and told me, ain't nobody buying t-shirts.
Wait, what? Wait, when
Your
was
kids
it?
is definitely gonna be your biggest haters. Yeah,
Bro,
biggest hater, your biggest supporter.
my son
You
looked
say
at
your
me.
kids gonna be your biggest haters?
Yeah,
He looked me
sometimes
square in the eye, bro.
when you dealing with older kids, yeah.
Oh my
Ain't
God.
nobody buying no t-shirts, man. What is you doing?
Right.
I said, nigga, you eating t-shirts right now. What you mean?
Yeah.
And that goes along with what I just said. When you ain't had something, you miss it. You yearn it. You want to know what's about. But when something been sitting right there, you take it for granted.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You take it for granted, bro.
See, and that's why
I,
I think I didn't mean to cut you off. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
no, go ahead. It's all good. I was just gonna say I had to learn that when my kids got older because that used to hurt my feelings. You understand what I'm saying? I can admit
Candy,
that.
I told you niggas have feelings.
You know what I'm saying? Because
I told you.
With the
my
kids,
main
you're supposed to.
my
Right.
main reason for being in my kids' life the way I was in their life was so that they can say, well, not my father.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying?
My
Well,
daddy was
every
always there.
every every birthday, every holiday, every school, you know what I'm saying? And I went to the extent of the last 10, 12 years of my kids' life, I had possession of them. You know what I'm saying? 110%. Then my baby mom was like, you know, you got them. You know, go ahead. You good. But they don't know nothing about me not being around. And you can't have an appreciation for it until it's either gone or caught up somewhere doing the wrong thing.
Yeah.
But I understand that. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I was
get sick. The appreciation really comes when you get sick. Them having to see you like that, that's exactly how I feel. Like you can't appreciate. Like if you're used to having something, that's just like money. Like with the rich folks, they used to have like when you used to having it, and then all of a sudden it's gone.
Yeah.
You got a whole different mindset now. You know what I'm
Real
saying?
talk.
Like it's a whole different mindset on how to get it back, how to attain it, how to maintain it. You're not finna do the same thing that you did before because you know it's gonna still land you up. You know it's gonna land you up in the same predicament.
Right. Now I can say this. One of the most human moments I had with my oldest kids was I had to sit them down and explain to them what to do in case me and their mama die. You know, and they looked at me like, what?
right.
What do you mean? What? I could just tell in their minds, like they couldn't even fathom. You know what I'm saying? They wildest imagination, us not being.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And it just made me say, yeah, well, there's some kids that's just not used to their parents not being. You always take for granted they're gonna be there. Like Beans right now, I go through an issue where I still have a hole where my grandmama used to be because my grandmama has passed away.
Yeah,
and
y'all were mad close. Mad
you know
close.
what I'm saying? We was super duper close. So sometimes certain things happen, and in my mind I say, I need to call my grandma. But I can't. You know what I'm saying? And I was abnormally close with my grandma. Like we kicked it on a regular basis, all from a young age, all the way up to older age, the whole nine, so forth and so on.
To the point where it used to piss me off. I'm trying to get outside. He like, man, we gotta stop at my grandma's house real quick. Ain't no stopping at your grandma's house real quick. It's not never been.
Man, I promise.
Quick. It's gonna be 30 minutes or more, guaranteed.
I promise you. You know what I'm saying?
Y'all was definitely,
and we were just cool like that. But I got a chance to appreciate her. I think one of the ways that she passed away was kind of mean for me because she had dementia. So it was. I felt like every time I saw her, I lost another piece of her. You know what I'm saying? And that went on for a 5-year time span, which was very painful. Very painful. But I think that was God's way of weaning her out of my life. You know what I'm saying? To where she was here, and then I was losing her at the same time. But I was coming to the realization that I'm going to have to go on without her being around. You feel what I'm saying? But she was 94 years old. I mean, how much longer was she going to be around? You know?
I didn't know she was that old. That's type crazy.
Yeah.
My auntie was like that too. I think my auntie was that bitch just bad. I think she was 90. She had it too, man. And my uncle was real close with her. And their birthdays is the same. You know what I'm saying? Right, and so like how you was just describing, he talked about how painful it was trying to communicate with her, where he would be on the phone with her and she would know who he was, and then she wouldn't. You know what I'm saying?
I used to see my grandmother. My grandmama didn't know who I was.
Yeah, see, y'all. Yeah, I'm gonna tell you something, man. I ain't that strong of a dude. You know what I'm saying? I think this is why. This is one of the reasons why in my lifetime I have attracted such strong women. You know what I'm saying? These stronger type and more masculine type of women is
You call them masculine type of women?
yeah, they masculine.
Hey, hold on now.
They masculine, yes. They definitely in their masculinity. They are some workaholics.
Independent. Just use the word independent.
No.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna use independent because independent gives it a crutch. And
That's not a crutch.
Yeah,
independent. Independent too.
Yeah, but a lot of people that be saying they be independent, they don't. You know, you have a lot of times women be saying, I'm a strong black woman, I don't need no man, but do though. You know what I'm saying? Because men are the ones who keep the power on. They keep the water running. They keep the roads paved. They keep the internet going. Like these, all men work these type of jobs. And not only that, if you call 911, you expected men to show up. When there's a fire, you call it the fire department, it's men showing up, right? Not to mention a lot of those same women be getting, and I ain't saying nothing wrong with it because I got some of myself, but they be getting Section 8 and CETA and Link and Medicaid and every other assistance. So you're not really independent.
That
when
is.
I used to argue about that all the time.
Just because you get government assistance does not mean that you are not independent. Because white people get the same shit,
and they
more
ain't
built on
independent
than us, and they're independent.
No, they not.
Yes,
Well, basically,
just because you have help, like doesn't make you less independent. Because it depends on if, like, just because you're on Section 8 don't mean you're a lazy ass person and you don't have rent. Just because you get a link don't mean that you still don't spend your cash throughout the month on food.
No, it don't. Like, it does mean you ain't independent. Because independent, it means that you are operating in of self. That is self-sufficiency. That means you don't have any other assistance. You know what I'm saying? That is all you. That's what independent is.
Let me say it like this. This is an argument I used to have all the time.
With who?
And certain women.
Okay.
So I'm gonna say it the way that it went. So I don't, you know what I'm saying? So this is what it used to be. I'll be talking to a woman, and then we'll be having I call them drunk table conversations. So, you know, we playing cards or we sitting around having a couple drinks, and then I'll have certain women that get up and start beating their chest about, I'm all for me. I take care of me. And you know what I'm saying? I don't need nobody to do this, and I don't need nobody to do that. And this nigga don't do nothing. He don't do nothing. He ain't got his own crib. He ain't got his own car. He ain't got his own this. He ain't got his own that. And woo out the bam, and I'll be like, but you got Section 8 though. But you get welfare assistance though. You get snaps though.
You get alimony though. You get child support though.
The man don't get nothing. He don't get no assistance in that form of fashion.
Now, first of all, you can get child support if y'all go to court. That be y'all.
True.
I'm just gonna state that. You can get linked. You can get Section 8.
Well, wait a minute now, Candice. Wait a minute now, Candice. Everything that you said is very true. I'm just speaking of back in the day. Back in the day, if you had a ding-a-ling, you came walking in there, no.
Okay, that's understandable back in the day.
Nowadays,
I can completely understand that back in the day.
It's completely different. But I used to I couldn't stand for the sisters to be talking down on the brothers the way that they talk down on the brothers, and the brothers already beat up. And then you trying to act like you doing something greater than anybody else, but you being helped. If he had that help, he'll have his own too.
That's a fact. That's a fact. And let me say this real quick. Because this gonna show you where my mind is at though, Candice. Now watch this. First of all, the definition of independent is free from outside control, not dependent on another's authority. Watch this. Not dependent on another for livelihood or substance. Right? So livelihood is your bills, your food, all of that. So that's why I said if you're getting help, you're not independent. But here's my idea of independence. I had a conversation with this guy on Facebook a couple of days ago. he tried to make this same argument about independence, and he was like, "So let me guess, you independent, huh?" And I said, "No, sir, I am not." Over the course of my lifetime, I've had my mama. At one point in time, I had my grandmama. At one point in time, my uncle I lived with. I've had girlfriends. I've had baby mamas. I got kids. I got Link. I've had my homies. I'm not independent. And I am so glad that I'm not independent. I don't want to be alone. And I don't want to have to do everything alone. Who wants to do, like they're saying, misery love, not misery love comes to other one. I could do bad all by myself. That is the dumbest thing I ever heard in my life. Why would I want to do bad by myself? Why I want to be alone?
No, that is taking it into a different type of context. It's just like that type of context when you could do bad by yourself is why would I keep sitting there doing bad with somebody else when I can do bad by myself? Like why keep being in a toxic relationship, in a fucked up relationship, or in a fucked up environment when I can be by myself and do bad? That's what that statement is. It's
Okay,
not.
I understand how you're saying it now, but the way that I look at it is this: the Mexican dudes that cross the border over here, that stand outside of Home Depot and Menards trying to get work, they have wives. They have women who respect them and value them and are not judging them by the amount of money that they can make. They have kids. Their kids love them, and the women and the people in their family, they are a family unit. They stick together. I watched Aurora go from being white people with a few black people and a sprinkle of Mexicans to Mexican City.
Mm-hmm.
And they all out there, they got all the Yukons and Navigators and,
Yeah.
and Escalades. And they all went from being 4-5 families in one house or apartment to now they all got their own houses and they got their own businesses and they working with each other. I mean,
But guess what?
But their culture taught them that.
Guess what? Black folks can't even live in a house together.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Their culture taught them that. In Mexico, that's how they have to live. They're living with 4-5 uncle, granddaddy, grandmama, great grandmama. Like they live like that. The men go work, the women be at home cooking for all the 100 kids. They sending the kids to school. Like their culture is built off that. Our culture is not. We don't know our roots. We were taken from our roots, given a culture. Like you can't. We don't know our roots. We didn't see. We weren't taught, and we didn't see people, the family working together. Like we didn't see that. Like, and that goes on to generations. Like going back to slavery, you have to look at their mentality put against each other. It was always a competition. Like that's the mentality that we have set up in our mind as black people, and that's why we don't support each other. Yeah, like we don't support each other. We don't encourage each other. We don't. Damn girl, you look pretty today. If anything, is like, damn, what the fuck? What she got? You know what I'm talking about? We judging each other. Like Mexicans and their whole culture, like their whole background and shit, like they uphold that shit in their household. They teach they children that shit. Half the motherfuckers don't even know English, but they teaching their children the value of family, how to work together. And all that. We don't teach our kids that. We don't teach that shit in our household.
Well, I'll say this then, because like I said, I know. Let me see. One cousin I got, Worm, who was on here earlier, he married. My cousin, Mel, he married, but he married to a Puerto Rican. Sean got divorced. Chico got divorced. Tori married. He married to a black woman. They've been married. They had a son and a daughter. The son passed away from cancer a few years ago. The daughter doing pretty good. So, like, growing up, though, most of the men in my family, I knew they was married. I mean, even I got married at 19. You know what I'm saying? So marriage was always a big thing in my family. But like you said, nobody was really preparing us for what that really meant, though.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? What you're supposed to do. So a lot of times you just go out and do things. You're not really prepared to do it. You don't even understand what it's going to take to maintain that. You see what I'm saying? But back to what I was saying was about independence. And listen, I don't want to be independent ever. You know what I'm saying? I want it. There's an old saying, it takes a village. I believe that. You know what I'm saying? At no point in time are you, even if you have a job, that's not independence. You working for somebody else. If that company folds, then you're out of work. Now you got to go get another job. You got to depend on somebody else to hire you. You see what I'm saying? That's not independence. Independence is owning a candy store. You see what I'm saying? That's independence. Independence is owning a t-shirt and printing company. Independence. You know what I'm saying? Owning your own thing financially when you are the chief of the income. You know, and these young kids now, well, I ain't gonna say kids, but the young adults now from like 19 to 29, this is one thing I give them credit for. I told my little brother this yesterday, and I told him I was proud of him. They understand the principle of having multiple streams of income. They are not around here just depending on no job. You know what I'm saying? I got a cousin. He got a job. He said weed. What's the thing called?
They may have multiple streams of income, but are they doing right by it? You can sit there and have multiple streams of income, but if you're not doing nothing to better yourself or better your future, it's really no point. You might as well work one job or have one stream of income, especially if you're not doing right by it. And a lot of these kids are not doing right by it.
When you say doing right by it, do you mean like as far as building that generational wealth we was talking about?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like it was so many people out here that got 20K. Let's just be honest. A lot of people got this 20K shit, 40K shit, and they back broke now. Motherfuckers invested shit. Motherfuckers Gucci'd out, Louis'd out, half that shit they back trying to pawn and shit. That's what I was saying. And it was multiple streams of income. Young people, they was doing applications, they was doing the apps, they was doing multiple streams of apps. Ask how many of those people started a business, got them a property, did something with it. Half of them, probably none of them. They got that money and didn't know what the fuck to do with it.
I ain't gonna
They bought guns. Half the motherfuckers bought crates of guns.
And let me tell you,
last year, if you didn't get no money, you crazy as hell. It went from looting to
and let me tell you this. Candice. I had a legitimate business, and they only gave me $13,000.
Crazy.
Now, how was everybody else doing?
I watched on YouTube got 130. I'm trying to figure out how he did that.
That's what I'm saying. Like it was so many people and wealthy people, mind you, independent people. Let me tell you that Trevion went and got that loan.
Of course,
that's what I'm saying. It was set up for people to get that shit. It was set up for you to get this money and possibly do something. But a lot of these people did not. They did exactly what people wanted them to do. They bought shit. They went shopping. They went on trips. And now they back broke trying to figure out what the fuck they finna do for the next leg. Now they coming up with next leg.
The point of that money was to pump some more money into the economy because it had been shut down for a minute. But listen, I'm just gonna be 100% transparent. I'm one of them cats, man. I got the bag, and guess what? I ain't gonna lie. Now I did pay off all my debt and everything. Well, I paid off all my commercial debt. I didn't pay my student loan. I ain't gonna lie. Hey, that student loan, that's still out there. And that $2,800 I owe Iowa child support, that's still out there. But I paid off all my debt that was gonna fix my credit. You know what I'm saying? I got my credit back together and all of that. But I still couldn't get the truck I wanted to for my business because I don't have no work history. You know what I'm saying? I don't really be on these jobs longer than 3 months. And so, they weren't really trying to do nothing with me. And so I wasn't going to just be depressed. So, like I said, I took care of some business. I took care of bills. pay, car note and all that type of stuff up, and man, spend some time with my lady. Hey, we did a bunch of jacuzzi tubs and fireplaces and all of that. And I bought like 17 pairs of shoes and a bunch of clothes. You know what I'm saying?
But
And
that's
hey,
honest.
I gotta go back to work.
But you did something to help your future, your credit. You feel what I'm saying? You did something as far as that. Like, don't get me wrong. If you spent if you was like it was free ball. Like, don't get me wrong. You was supposed to treat yourself. You gonna fuck up your name, you might as well treat yourself. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm never not saying that. But what I'm saying is, like, as far as these younger people that could have got it, you could have got this. You could have took 10,000, jagged that shit, and still did 10,000 and bettered yourself and doing something with your life. You took a whole
Well,
$20,000 and then
wait,
That
Candy.
didn't matter though. I ain't gonna stunt.
Let me tell
and bought an
you the
ass.
other
Half
part.
these bitches bought an ass sleeping on an air mattress. I would never
Let me
understand.
tell you the other
Like,
part that you
never.
missing, Candy. Hey, Candy,
Hmm?
you missing the fact that a lot of them
She
gave
said
the
bought
person
an
that did their
ass.
paperwork half of their money almost.
You said half of what?
A lot of them gave the people that was doing their paperwork half of their money.
Yeah, a lot of people was paying. They was paying them $5,000 and above to do this shit. But that's what I'm saying. In the black community, like, I'm like, anybody with a smart mind would have been like, man, bro, just get this money. You hear what I'm saying? If 5 people would have got $20,000 in a circle, all y'all ass could have went and bought a building together.
That's a fact.
All y'all ass could have went and bought a motherfucking building, put it in something. One person named who ain't got the criminal record, who got the credit and shit, got y'all a motherfucking building, residual income for the rest of y'all motherfucking life.
I ain't gonna lie.
But you
That's
know
the
what?
first thing I tried to do as soon as the bag came, and I couldn't get 2 niggas to get with me.
And
Not
that's what
2.
I'm saying.
Hey, hold on. Pause. Did you call me?
I didn't, but the only reason why I didn't call you is because, you know what I'm saying, you already got stuff going on. I called the people who don't have nothing going on, trying to get them to get together to have something going on.
I can't have more stuff going on.
You could. Matter of fact, I did call you, but I didn't call you to proposition you. I called you to get some information from you.
Okay.
But so you knew I was trying to do it. You didn't say nothing. But I didn't expect
No.
you already had your situations going on. I was trying to get people together who don't, because remember, we was talking and you was telling me how what not to do, because you was telling me how when you bought that building over there in K-Town and and I'm like, bro, you trying to tell me that you own that building? You like, yeah. I'm like, dude, I don't know that. You remember that conversation? You remember when we had that conversation?
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah, and I'm like, bro, I didn't know you owned that building.
So put it like this, bro. If you broke it down to me like that, I would have told you how you could have bought a building with a LLC.
Yeah. It's a lot of ways.
I give that game away, bro, especially to my people.
But you talking about purchase, you talking about doing a bird, or you talking about buying something that's already been rehabbed?
You could do either one.
You could do either or with an LLC. It's easier because you could have said
You could
that.
buy it in an LLC, LLC, all you gotta do is make sure your credit score is a 660.
Mm-hmm.
Then the LLC, you can put it in the LLC name. You can do it with a partner up to 3 people. You can get a hard money loan, do the flip, get you 250, 270K back, make 50,000 on the flip, or you could do an arms 7, arms 10, arms 3, and you could take out a mortgage on it and keep it, whichever one. But it's easy to get property in the LLC name than in a personal name. I'm just saying.
Yeah, see, like I said, when I first got the money, I called a few people like, man, what y'all want to do? Woo. And man, you know.
Well, first of all, you gotta get over everybody playing like they ain't got no money.
Yeah.
What money? What you talking about? I didn't get this 20K. What do you mean?
Yeah, everybody.
Hey, bro, listen.
Until that list came up.
My brother ain't had no money in I don't know how long, bro. Next thing I know, he coming up with cars. He got all type of clothes. Him and his wife hanging out downtown. They staying in the best of hotels. Come on, man.
Well, I'm gonna say this real quick. I think I have one more question for the panel tonight. But I don't even know if I want to deal with it. Yeah, the question was, do you have a problem with the difference in the way that the government is treating the Haitians versus the way they treated the Afghans? I don't even think I really want to deal with that tonight. We've been hitting on pretty good topics, and they was all like on the same level or whatever. So I don't even want to deal with that anyway. Plus, I added the R. Kelly thing at the beginning, so that was pretty cool. So what I'm gonna do right now is say to anybody that's watching at this point, thank you for tuning in to the Seen Yo Lil Podcast show, and we'll be back next Tuesday. So Candice, appreciate you.
No problem.
Always welcome. You on the list. So every Tuesday when it's time to go live, I'm gonna send you the link. You come on if you want to. We're gonna chop it up every Tuesday. And so thank you for joining us, and I appreciate that. Thank you so much.
No problem. Good luck. It was great conversations, man.
Thank you.
You guys have a great night.
All right, you too.
So listen, bang.
Yes, sir.
Now here's my question to you. See, because you're a father, right?
Okay.
Like I said, next week I want to talk about this average thing, right? Particularly dealing with the income. Because right now, this is what like my biggest thing that I'm championing right now is defending black men, man. Like what it's like for us out here as black men. And the crazy part about it is like the women who raise us don't even seem to understand it.
Right.
That's what makes it so crazy. But here's the thing. As a father, do you have a financial expectation for your sons? Like, is it
do.
like you want them to be a certain, how do I say this? Like, you want them to have a certain level of income per year. You have
not necessarily a level of income. Yeah, not necessarily a level of income per year, but I want them to have an understanding of the concept of what to do with money. So I want them to learn budgeting. I want them to understand. So one of the biggest issues that I had when I was growing up, I always felt like you needed to have a certain amount of money to do a certain amount of things. But the actual truth is, you could do the same thing with $1 that you can do with $1,000. You just have to have it planned out. So your budgeting, it comes from a percentage. So you say, all right, I'm gonna save 10%. I'm gonna invest 50%. I'm gonna use 40% for my bills, and then what I got left over, that's what I'm gonna use for extracurriculars. And you do that whether you got $1, whether you got $100, $1,000, $10,000, whatever it is. That's how you do it. So I want them to practice discipline with money, not necessarily have a certain amount of money, but to practice discipline with money, doing what you're supposed to do with it.
I'm gonna tell you, man, this whole high value man conversation that's going around right now, and you got to make $10,000 a month. You know what I'm saying? For a woman to be cooperative and submissive and all this other stuff, and
oh my God,
you know, man, it's like it's one of the reasons why I like Kevin Samuels. It's because he personally deals with the high value man set, right? But on his platform, he talks about and defends average earning men.
Okay.
And middle class men, you know, the 42 to $70,000 earners. Because I tell you, something that blew my mind, G, was when I found out, and I'm ashamed to admit this, but it was recently that I found this out, like within the last year, how taxes work. So
it's the biggest pimp hole game of the century.
Right.
Yeah.
So you could make, when you make $100,000 a year, you really only make 64. Somewhere in there. Unless you just got your super duper tax loophole game going on. You really only bring home around 64 of your $100,000 for the year. Now that's still good. That ain't bad, but it's not your 100. You know what I'm saying?
And then this the other part. This the other part about taxes people miss. You're gonna tax me for legitimizing my money. Then you're gonna tax me when I spend my money. Then you're gonna tax me to convert my money to liquid when I got somebody that paid for something with a credit card. You're gonna tax me there. Like everybody getting the piece, bro. Everybody getting the piece.
And see, that's the reason why I asked you that, right? Because, like I said, I want to have this conversation next week. If you telling me the average dude make $42,000 a year, and it is be the funny thing about it, because the sisters will come down on the men and say, y'all aren't even really making no money when they make 37. You know what I'm saying? So it ain't like y'all make
some of them ain't even making 30 nothing.
True, and that's what I'm saying. This is the average. This is the median, right? The median for black women is 37. The median for black men is 42. But here's the kicker, and I know it's way more of them, but the median for white men is 52. White men basically, on average, make $200 more a week than black men. So this argument somehow that we just losing out here, you know what I'm saying, is kind of ridiculous. You know what I'm saying? And so that's what I'm saying to myself, like, I got a plan for my son, but my plan for my son is less about how much money he's going to be making than it is about the fact that he's going to be able to take care of himself.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
And that's the end game for a parent, bro. To make sure that your kid, the end game for a parent is to make sure that your kid can be a successful adult.
Right.
Making sure they can live without you.
Right.
That's the end game.
Let's say my son didn't have his girlfriend. Let's say he met her when he was 25 and she was 23. What the hell she been doing from 18 to 23 that she need him to pay for everything?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, that's how my mind works. Like, it don't make sense to me. So the scenario for me is that you meet somebody and both of y'all doing y'all adult thing, and then y'all combine y'all income. You know what I'm saying? And then from there, you start planning out the rest of your life. You start planning them kids, not just looking like, you know what I'm saying? But making plans for these things. See? So that's what I really want to have this conversation next week, is because I want to really have an in-depth conversation with a few people, you know what I'm saying, where we talk about this whole average income thing, because you gotta have a starting point. If I'm a man and it's just me and I'm out here and all I have to take care of myself, $2 grand is all right.
Right.
Especially if you're not choosing to live somewhere where it's costing you $2,000 a month.
Come on now.
You know what I'm saying? So that's why I want to have that conversation next week. Man, I forgot to tell Candice if she wanted to plug her candy store. But did you want to plug your business real quick, man, before we get in the broadcast?
Archive Duplication Company at Archive Dupe on Instagram, Twitter, at www.archiveduke is the website. If you need anything for your business, you need a logo, you need your concepts together, you need to learn how to brand. That's what we do down here. Period. Point blank.
No doubt. And I'm probably gonna be at you in a minute because I'm gonna have to. I think I'm gonna get some pluggers. I'm gonna go old school and get some pluggers for the podcast, and I'm gonna get some t-shirts and some hoodies done too. And also, I want to let the whole world know as they watch this video that this guy owned this company and never told me. I found out that he owned this company when I went online looking at this page that let you know companies is real and let you know the owner's name and addresses and all this. And I went on there because I'm trying to look at my own company. I had just started my trucking company. I'm feeling all good about myself. So I look up my trucking company. Is there showing me as the owner. I'm like, oh, snap. Then I look up my cousin. He got his construction company. I'm looking at his joint. I'm like, oh, snap. Then I just so happen, let me look up archive duplication. Look it up, clear as day. Here go this man's name on there. I'm like, hold on. I cut it so quick. Bro, you trying to tell me you own that company? He like, yeah, I thought you knew that. Man got whole Chinese people in here. Chinese people and Mexicans working in here. You have employees in your whole life. He's like, yeah. Like, bro, I never knew that. I went to the office with you that one time and everything. I never knew that was your company, man. But I'm gonna tell you how I was so proud, not just of you. Because I was when I found out that was your company. At first, I was like, "What the hell?" And then when I talked to you about it and you confirmed, I'm like, "Man, that's pretty good." You know what I'm saying? And I was really proud of you. I still am proud of you. You know, you one of the good black male role models I've had in my life. You never really led me astray. You always, you know what I'm saying, looked out for me. You never tried to get me involved in no BS. And you was always a smart dude. But I was proud of myself when I found out that you owned that business. I'm like, boy, if you don't go, you got a friend that owns a business and he got Chinese Mexican workers. What a good of a man you are to have a friend that owns a business that got Chinese and Mexican workers. I was proud of myself. Just as much as I was proud of you, man. But one love. Hey, listen, like I say, I got a few select people, man, whose opinions I value, people I trust, I know, you know what I'm saying, they can think, you know what I'm saying? And every week, man, when I'm getting ready to do the broadcast, I'm just gonna send out the link, man, for people to come on so they can talk, man. Any week you want to come talk, Bang G, you are welcome to come talk, man. You my brother, you my homie, you my friend, man. And I love you, bro. I appreciate you for showing up for me tonight. We're gonna chop it up in a minute.
All right, for sure.
Appreciate you, bro.
Appreciate it.
All right. So that is tonight's broadcast, man. I just want to say salute to my guests, my cousin Worm, my sister-in-law Candice, my brother Bang G, and Candice got a candy store. I'm gonna get the information for that, and I'm gonna put that in the comment section. And I want to say to everybody that has watched this program, that will watch this program, thank you so much. I hope that we gave you all some information tonight. You gotta forgive me, man. My sinus is acting real bad. That's why I sound like this. I usually sound like this. Hey, you know what I'm saying? How you doing? You know. No, but yeah, my sinus is acting real bad for some reason. But anyway, man, I'm so glad that I started doing this platform. A lot of us, man, we have voices and we have experiences that we need to share, voices that need to be heard, lessons that need to be learned. And y'all stay with me, man. It's just gonna get better. I gotta learn this program a little bit more, so I can do some more little, glitzy little things to it, get my camera game better and all of that. But salute to everybody, man. Black love. And universal love, man, to everybody, but we ain't no races over here. We We all in the struggle, bro. So salute to y'all, man. Peace.